I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent torn, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and norm when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. Party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rockin' Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to this thing that we call the Knicks Morning Drive. What's good, y'all? What's good, party people? Check. It's good to be with y'all. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started, man. I wanna start off by saying, man, it feels really good being a Knicks fan this morning. Core Mega, the hip hop legend, is in the building. Pierre Moise, I see you. The Smoking Nick, all the way on the left coast, is hanging out with us this morning, chilling. Right? Okay. King Ribby is in the building. Joe Madden is in the building. Frank Matos, what's good? What's good, y'all? David L. is in the building. Adele Chapman, what's good? I see you, boss. I see you. The son of the legend is in the building. Kerry Cox. Kerry Cox is in the building. What's good? Dre, what's good, boss? Ed Winnan is in the building. What's good, y'all? Man, I want to start off this morning by saying, man, it feels really good to be a Knicks fan, right, this morning. And from my perspective, I feel good. I feel good about this Knicks thing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Rich Boy is in the building. BX Kicks is in the building. Miss Geraldine, what's good? I see you. Salute to all the members of the channel. Salute to the members of the channel. Salute to the members of the channel, man. It's good to see y'all, man. Salute to all the members of the channel that constantly come through and help support this thing that we trying to do here. I ain't gonna lie to you. The more I do this, the more I realize, man, I think I might want to do this full time, man. I think I might want to do this full time. The only thing though is yeah. The ball don't lie is in the building. Keith Turner is in the building. My man Keith Turner is in the building. Keith Turner, you better keep it real too in this chat. You better not acquiesce to what people telling you to do. Be yourself, Keith Turner. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Don't bend over backwards for nobody else. Be yourself. I appreciate you for that, man. No lie, I appreciate Keith Turner for doing that. Right? All right, Jeff. I see you. Good morning. I see you, Jeff. I see you. I see you out here, Jeff. All right. So this morning, man, I feel really good being a Knicks fan, man, for a variety of reasons, right? And reason number one is this. I want to share this. I want to share this with y'all. Just be patient with me. I want to share this with y'all. Right? I know I got a lot of stuff going on the screen, but what I want to say is this morning when you wake up and you see stuff like this, since January 1st, this is Jalen Brunson. Since January 1st, this is Jalen Brunson. January is very impressive. Right? January is very impressive, but February is not sustainable. And I'm not saying that Jalen Brunson can't perform at a high level, but nobody shoots 56% from three for a sustained amount of time. Right? That 44% thing, I think he could probably do that. That's attainable. I think Jalen Brunson could probably do that. But 56%, and for this reason, I feel good as a Knicks fan. And Keith Turner hitting it out of the park already. Brunson don't care about all-star games. It's nothing but a popularity contest. Keith Turner already, you and I on the same page already, Keith Turner. Like, who cares about the popularity contest, bro? The ball don't lie is in the building. Right? So last night, for those of y'all that missed the conversation last night, I was talking about how Jalen Brunson can be a top 5 player at his position. And I was rebutted with, well, he doesn't look like Kyrie Irving or Damian Lillard, basically is what it boiled down to. And what I'm doing this morning is I want to appeal to NBA fans and Knicks fans this morning. I legit want to get somebody on my side about Jalen Brunson. Right? I don't care that Jalen Brunson is not a 6'5" hyper athlete with a 44-inch vertical. I don't care if he doesn't run the 20 in 1.8 seconds. I don't care. Ivory 10 is in the building. Shout out to the members. Shout out to everybody, the members saluting the channel. And listen, y'all, if y'all want to help support the channel, if y'all want to see more of this stuff from Uncle Freezy, you know what I'm saying? Consider subscribing or, subscribing to the channel for one, becoming a member so that we'll have more resources that we can do more stuff with. Right? Nice is in the building. AJ Bula is in the building. I know it's Beulah. I like saying Bula for some reason. I know it's Beulah, right? I see the single L. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I see the U. I understand all of that stuff, but I just like saying Bula for some reason. Andrew College is in the building. What I want you guys to look at, though, is look at the numbers that I have on the screen and think about the last time you saw a Knicks point guard average 30 points and 6 assists. When's the last time you saw a Knicks point guard in any era average 30 points and 6 assists on 61% from the floor and 56% from three? So I feel good as a Knicks fan this morning, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. I feel good. Because we have one guy in Julius Randle that the league is acknowledging is a great player. Right? And then you have the other guy who may have flown under the radar that is proving to the league that he's a great player. Right? Now, with that said, we don't really have to prove anything to anyone except ourselves. Right? We don't have to prove anything to anybody except ourselves. But even with that, though, even with that, we have a lot to prove to ourselves. Right? Because despite the fact that Jalen Brunson is playing like an all NBA player right now, and that Julius Randle is playing like an all NBA player right now, we still have doubters in our midst that constantly point out the flaws that this team has. And I'm trying to tell them, newsflash, every NBA team has flaws. You show me a perfect team, and I will show you a person that lies for a living. And y'all heard me. You point out the person that can find a perfect NBA team, and I'll show you a person that lies for a living. No NBA team is perfect. Right? No NBA team is perfect. Yo, my man Rel is in the building. Okay. We Talk Mavs is in the building. A hot YouTube channel. Man, them cats is growing so fast, bro. I'm almost in that situation where I feel like I wonder if these dudes gonna remember me in 2 years. I wonder if We Talk Mavs gonna remember me when they got like their old network show and all that stuff. They be like, yeah, I met some dude, man. I forget some fat light skinned fella, some big pun looking dude used to come on. Yo, shout out to Rel and to King Kai and everybody. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to this network thing we trying to put together, man. Shout out to them. Rel, we gotta get together and talk sneakers, bro. We gotta talk about the culture, bro. We got to, man. We gotta talk about this thing, man. So on vibes and stuff, me, you, and Chuck, you know what I'm saying? We got to get together and do something once I get my life together, bro. We got to get together and do some stuff. Right? But listen, Jalen Brunson is legit, bro. Jalen Brunson is legit. Right? Jalen Brunson is legit. You saw the numbers on the screen. My man is averaging 33 points a game and 6 assists in the month of February. And for those that don't appreciate what that means to a Knicks fan, maybe you hadn't been around long enough to understand the dearth, the void, the cavern, the emptiness that we've had at the point guard position in our franchise's history. Now, listen, we've had great point guards here before, right? I think Guerin was a point guard. I never saw him play. He was way before my time. Clyde Frazier, though. Clyde Frazier was defensively maybe 3 times better than Gary Payton maybe 4 times better than Gary Payton. And I'm trying to be modest. Maybe 5 times better defensively than Gary Payton. Right? But I'm just going to say 3 because I don't want to sound disrespectful to Gary Payton, because Gary Payton was an excellent defensive guard. Right? But he was no Clyde Frazier. And in terms of a maestro offensively, Clyde Frazier was about as good and unselfish as it gets. Right? He you know, unselfish. He was as unselfish as you can get as a Knicks point guard, as an NBA point guard, period. Clyde Frazier is definitely a top 10 point guard all time. And since I'm biased, of course, you know, I always say Clyde Frazier is a top 5 point guard of all time. I have Clyde Frazier in the point guard mix with guys like Isaiah Thomas. Right? I think you have to look at John Stockton, Walt Clyde Frazier, Isaiah Thomas in that mix. I think Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard. Him and Steph Curry, right? But even with that said, the point that I'm getting at is the numbers that you see from Jalen Brunson as an all offense point guard. He takes charges, but in terms of an all offense point guard, we have never seen a guy play at this level at the point guard position. All offense. Michael Ray Richardson is a great Knicks point guard, a guy that's forgotten, lost to Knicks history because he only played here for 4 years, right? So he's forgotten, but he's probably the second best point guard in Knicks history. 3-time played here 4 seasons, 3-time All-Star, 1-time assist champ, averaged 10 assists a game one season, and in another separate season, he led the NBA in steals, but was in top 5 in all those statistical categories. Michael Ray Richardson, top 10 in assists and steals, right? And scoring for a point guard, offense and defense. Jalen Brunson is not in that mode, right? Jalen Brunson is an all offense point guard, right? But even with that, man, listen, 33 points a game from the point guard position, 6 assists, bruh, that's a lot. And Keith Turner says, I had no expectations coming into the season. I'm just kicking back and watch it play out. Me too. Yep. That's where I am with it also. Right? But this is the thing that I want to mention to you guys. The Knicks, in theory, have 3 players averaging 20 points a game. One player is very efficient. The other is about average efficiency. And the third is not efficient at all. At all. And he's got something to prove. Right? But as a Knicks fan, you'll take that. As a Knicks fan, we should take that, because at the end of the day, we're used to having 3 guys be inefficient. Right? As Knicks fans, we're used to, say, 1 guy or 3 guys being inefficient and being lottery teams, basically. All right, let me put this thing in here, and I was going to send it through. I was going to text everybody individually and send it. I'm just going to put this link in the chat, though. Save time. Keith Turner said, I had us winning 35 games this season, so surprised me. I don't mind being wrong. Yep, me too. Me too. And the thing is with that is the thing is with what me and myself and Keith Turner are saying is that I'm not down on the team. I just didn't know what to expect, so I didn't expect anything. Just watched it. Eddie F is in the building. Okay, okay. David L says, if you have no expectations, you don't have a relevant opinion. Sad fit. No, that's not true, David L. That's not true. That's not true. That's opposite. That's opposite of what that is. If you have no expectations, then your opinions are not muddied by a certain old expectation. Like if you had an expectation that, like you can't lie to me. You can't lie to my face and say that you expected Jalen Brunson to average 33 points a game in February. That's a lie. Joe Madden.
What's up, Freezy? How you doing?
Good, boss.
Not much, my man. Not much. Just chilling.
Bro,
Looking forward to the game tonight.
looking forward to the game tonight. Me too.
Yeah.
Bro, I wish we could have went to Atlanta, bro. I wish I could just get a bus and just come by and scoop y'all up and just ride to these games, bro.
Yeah.
I wish I could, bro. Maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days, ESPN will syndicate us and we could just get on the rock.
How
You
far
know
are you
what I'm saying?
from Atlanta? You're close to between Atlanta and Charlotte, right?
Yeah, I'm in the Myrtle Beach area. So
Oh,
so
okay.
so so I'm not in between them. I'm down south, but I'm not between Charlotte and Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But I can commute to both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like saying it's like saying Long Island is between um Manhattan and Harlem. No, it's not. But
Mhm.
but it's up there. It's in the area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, kind of the same distance drive though, going from like Midtown Manhattan to Harlem from like Long Island or whatever.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not in between. I'm not directly in between Charlotte and Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I'm more on the east coast of South Carolina, and those places are Charlotte is in western North Carolina, and Atlanta is in western Georgia. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm in between. I'm in between, say, Florence, Dillon, and Augusta, Georgia. I'm on that side, but I will drive though. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, what's your expectation for tonight?
Uh, a win. I think Atlanta's looked a little bit dodgy of late. As we talk Hawks was saying like he expects them like they're a 500 team and they were playing like it. And
All right.
I watched like catch the last couple of minutes of I was looking over and back between the Knicks game and then Atlanta was playing the Hornets and Atlanta looked very bad defensively. So I think for the way Brunson and Randall are playing, I think if they have a good night tonight, we should get the win.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I wish I could go to this game, bro. I wish. Joe, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Garden is the sweetest place on earth, bro.
The Garden, yeah.
Madison Square Garden,
Hmm.
it's the sweetest place on earth, bro. Like I legit go to these other arenas, boss, and what you see on TV and what you experience in the arena are two totally different things, bro.
When you watch some of these, like I've watched Washington when we play Washington, when we play Atlanta, Charlotte, some of these smaller cities, you look at the arena are empty.
Yeah,
Go to the Garden sounds like an NBA Finals every night.
every night.
Same when you go to the Lakers in LA, like most arenas like sounds like an NBA Finals every night. But
And
then
Boston, Mass,
oh,
in the finals every night, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro.
it's the fans that fill up the arena, and then when you go to the smaller markets, it's all year round in the regular season, the arena's half empty and you can get cheap seats. And then when their team makes the playoffs, then they fill it up. Kind of like Brooklyn.
Right.
Brooklyn, you can go to a Brooklyn game, you can get tickets. You can go the day of Brooklyn game, an hour or two before the game, and get tickets.
Yeah.
Knicks, you
And,
can't do that. It's tough to get tickets so far close to the game.
yeah.
But with Brooklyn, you can get tickets very easily with Brooklyn, and then when they go to the playoffs, then the place is full. All the celebrities and everybody go see them when they make the playoffs. But during the regular season, nobody cares.
They're what the Clippers used to be, bro. They're what the Clippers used to be, bro. You know what I'm saying? Before they got a new owner, you know what I mean. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason why I say Knicks fans are blessed and the Garden is a beautiful place is because some of these places that I go visit, like the Miamis, they have stars, bro. They have very good players. And you go to the game, bro, and the foyer area, you know how the outside of the arena has all this big glass on the outside. You walking in, everything. It's just a beautiful place when you walk into these arenas, right? But you walking around like the concourse areas, just checking out the spot before the game started or whatever. Ain't nobody in there. You like, hello. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm kidding, of course. You know, these places hold 20,000 people, but when you get there, it's like 6,000 people.
Yeah. And
you know
then
what I'm saying?
that's why you see the NBA now with the lottery. They're rigging the lotteries for all these small markets to put stars in the small cities to try and get attendance up, because all their attendance money is coming from all the big cities like Philly, Boston, New York, LA. But everywhere else, they're not making that much money.
Right.
Because didn't you say you go to Charlotte game, Atlanta game, and you can get nearly courtside seats
Basically.
for dirt cheap compared to what you get in the nosebleeds in the Garden.
And basically, let me bring J Boogie in. Hold on for just a second.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting.
Yeah.
But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting.
What?
I'm podcasting,
What?
he's podcasting.
What?
I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears. Closest thing to the...
Them. J Boogie is in the building. What's up, boss?
What's good, my brothers?
What's up, Jay?
Chilling, boss. Chilling, boss. Hip hop. What's good, boss? How you doing?
My fault, I had a call coming in. What's good, my brothers? How y'all doing?
Ain't nothing, man.
Good.
Excited about these Knicks. Man. I'm excited about Brunson and Randall and Thibodeau and Leon Rose and RJ. And I think the vibe, I have a different vibe, bro. I think I'm in a good place with these Knicks, man. How about you?
Man, I'm safe, man.
Okay.
The team is doing what they, you know what I'm saying? The team is giving us a good season. I know we have our ups and downs, we have our conversations, but they're giving us a real good season. And that's all you can ask for, you know. Sometimes they could be playing better, but 65, 70% of the time them guys is playing hard. You know, they doing, you know what I'm saying, what they can. You know, you just want them to get over the extra hump. But it's so hard to get over the extra hump with so many of these, you know, high caliber teams like Boston, Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's shrinking. Even Philly is shrinking towards us. Yo, Miami is shrinking towards us. Cleveland, you're a step in front of us, but don't make me run you down. You know?
Right.
So, I like where we at, man. I like where everybody's at, man. And you and all the podcasts, y'all been doing a great job through all season, man. Start mentioning, letting everybody know that, you know.
We trying.
Sometimes I don't even come on. I won't even say nothing, but just be listening. And I'll be like, yeah, guys is doing their thing. They on point, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Blessings, help, and happiness to you all. And what up, my man JM? What's good with you, Joe, man?
Not much, my man. Not much, my man. Just chilling, you know. Looking forward to the game tonight.
That's what's good. I'm
Yeah,
about
man.
to pull up in the Chandler. So Freezy know where that's at.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I am. I'm excited about this game tonight, bro. I would love to go into the All-Star break with a dub, right? And be on a small winning streak, knowing that on the other side of the All-Star break, Mitchell Robinson will be back.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And not like trying to sprinkle positivity into a thing, but coming into the season, I had no expectation. So I didn't want to put no pressure on anything. Just wanted to enjoy the season, and I think to date, I'm enjoying what the Knicks are doing. Some of the things that the Knicks fans are doing, I don't know if I'm vibing with, but in terms of the product on the floor, bro, I think I'm in a pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a pocket. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in that place with Pete Rock on the beat and Nas with the lyrics. That's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nothing is going to be absolutely perfect. We know it. It's life. Life ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? If somebody show you a perfect NBA team, I'll show you a liar. You know what I'm saying? No team is perfect. Everybody's going to have flaws. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of what we're providing on a nightly basis, I can live with it because I sat in the same seat last year and I watched the opposite last year. Alec Burks and Fournier in the backcourt. What you thinking, Joe?
No, I think just Brunson makes a big difference. You need ball handlers, you need playmakers, you need guys that can get their own bucket, and he's one of the rare guys. Like he can get his own shot, he can get his own bucket whenever he wants from near anywhere on the floor. And you need them type of guys if you're gonna win games. And when you have the likes of between Randall getting his own shot and Brunson, I think we're in a good spot. I think this year, for myself, I think expectations are gone up. I think that fifth seed is to be had. And if we can get that fifth seed, I could see us getting second round of the playoffs.
Okay.
I think Brunson changed everything for this team.
Hey, Joe, you know what else? You know what I think made Brunson better? And I know this is gonna sound strange. This is gonna sound strange, right? I think Brunson is playing better, but I also think Quickley is playing better. And
I
so
agree.
the combination of Brunson being able to stretch himself, like instead of Brunson playing 40 minutes and have to coast and conserve energy and all these things, so he'll be fresh in the fourth quarter. Now he can go out and play 36 minutes hardcore, knowing that Quickley coming off the bench is playing good basketball. Quickley is a great option as a backup point guard at this point. And I'm not just making this thing up because I'm a Quickley fan, but all you have to do is look at Brunson's rise and then look at his backup at the same time, right? While Brunson's numbers have gone through the roof, Quickley's numbers have gotten better also. You know what I'm saying? The dude is shooting like, and I mentioned his numbers. I'm just mention his field goal percentage. And so for Quickley's career, he's a 39% shooter from the floor, right? In February, he's shooting 44%, right? But he's a career 39% shooter from the floor. In the month of January, Emmanuel Quickley shot 52% from the floor, right? In the month of January, he shot 37.9% from three, right? And in the month of February, Quickley is shooting 44% from the floor, and he's shooting 40% from three, right? And so we can say that's coincidence, or we can attribute our point guard play getting better, which means our team overall is getting better. Like those two things, in my opinion, are not singularities. They don't live in two separate places. They're happening at the same time. So I'm not saying Quickley is the reason why Brunson is better. What I'm saying is I think both have figured something out. Both have figured something out, and both are thriving at the same time. Because 40% from three is that bar that we want to get our guys to. But at the same time, 40% from three is hard. Especially if you're not getting spot up threes. If you're not getting spot up threes all the time, then it's hard. And truth be told, too, I'm looking at Quickley's free throw percentage. Quickley is averaging 12 points a game in February, right? But he's only shooting. Emmanuel Quickley in the month of February is shooting 64% from the free throw line. Did you think Quickley was shooting that bad from the free throw line before I mentioned it?
I thought in the 70s, yeah, his free throw shooting hasn't been good. It's been gone down the last month or so.
Yeah, if Quickley shot his career average somewhere about 86, 87%, this dude would probably be averaging 15 points a game.
Yeah.
IQ been so good of a free throw shooter, that skill set probably is not something that he intends to keep, working on, making sure he shoot a certain amount of free throws every day, because he's catering to his game in so many other areas to big up his game. That's why his game is playing a whole lot better, and he's more effective in a whole lot of ways, as you're talking about. He's elevating, himself, and is helping elevate Brunson because he gets the extra time off. But small skill sets like that, you can't forget about them. Even though, you're a good free throw shooter, you have to always continue on keeping that in your practice zone some kind of way. So, but he's been probably, working out on other things, where he feel like he got them free throws down pat. No, young fella, continue on keeping that inside your work program too, because I've been noticing he missing free throws, but until you mention the percentage, that makes you be like, whoa, that's not IQ.
That's alarming, right?
Right, because a couple of times he was like he was back and forth with Steph Curry like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So he needs to continue on shooting free throws, after practice or before practices or whatever he got to do. Can't overlook them small skills, man. Them skill sets, they mean a lot too. Even though he's working on doing a lot of things, we appreciate that, but we appreciate them free throws too, man. Because he gets to the line.
Yeah. For the minutes that he plays, so Quickley is averaging about 30 minutes a game, right? About 30 minutes a game, Jay Boogie, and then in those 30 minutes a game, IQ was averaging about 4 rebounds, bro, and 3 assists in 30 minutes off the bench. He's only taking 10 shots a game. 10 shots a game, averaging 12 points, right? And then the thing that's most impressive about all of this is Emmanuel Quickley's defense.
There you go.
The most impressive thing is this: Quickley's defense. In my mind, you know how we're quick to always compare somebody to Marcus Smart. Like, Josh Hart is Marcus Smart. I mean, Grimes is going to be Marcus Smart. How about Quickley? Can we add Quickley to that conversation? In my mind, I think Quickley of those three is the better defender. And I mean, that might be up for debate because I don't want to look at advanced analytics for Josh Hart, who played 51 games on another team, because you don't know what type of scheme they were running. You don't know how many times he defended the other team's best player. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot of stuff that go into these defensive numbers, right?
Right.
But going by the eye test, we've seen Quickley more than we've seen Josh Hart. So I'm going to give Quickley the nod because we've seen him.
That's fair enough.
You know, I know Josh Hart's and when we're talking about good defenders, because Grimes is a good defender, Quickley's a good defender, Hart is a good defender. So I'm not saying that Hart is a bad defender or Grimes is a bad defender. What I'm saying is when you're talking about Run DMC, Houdini, and Outkast, and say if I pick Outkast over those three, it doesn't mean the other two are bad. You know what I'm saying? It just means when you're talking about something good. And I could see the disappointment in J Boogie face. J Boogie wanted me to say Run DMC bad, man. You wanted me to say Run DMC?
No, you good. You good.
Okay.
I was thinking out loud about something, and I'm listening to you same time watching the road.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I know DMC said I'm light skinned. I live in Queens. I love to eat chicken and collard greens. I know DMC said that. Shout out to Queens, New York. Queens get the money. Shout out to Queens, New York. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hollis.
Best MC ever. The best. Brooklyn, the best. We got the best MCs ever to touch these mics. Ever.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hey man, yeah, shout out to Brooklyn, man. Shout out to all the spots in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to the Bronx, New York, the place with the best pizza. You know what I'm saying? Bronx, New York. Shout out to Tony's in the Bronx, man. I used to spend summers in the Bronx, man. Love the Bronx, New York. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never been, the Bronx reminds me of the place that I'm from. So I'm from Jersey City, and the Bronx and Jersey City look exactly the same in my eyes. Exactly the same, except the Bronx is maybe bigger. You know what I'm saying? But I remember one summer in the Bronx where it was like Beirut over there. It was like every night there was like 3 fires in the Bronx every night, bro. But anyway, I ain't ready to go old school. I ain't ready to get old school. All I'm gonna say is shout out to the island. Shout out to Inwood, Central Islip. Shout out to everybody from the tri-state area. Shout out to Connecticut and those places, and much love to all you Knicks fans that come out and hang out with us. You know what I'm saying? As we rock the spot talking about these Knicks, man.
Hey,
yeah, J Boogie, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for this place that we in, bro. This place feels good.
That's good, man. I mean, I like when it feels good to all the content creators. You know, all the ones that host podcasts. I like when it feels good to y'all. You know what I'm saying? That makes you work a whole lot better. You feel like, you know what I'm saying? I was seeing some people feel like they was on the verge of losing it. Like they like, yo, listen, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know. But shout out to everybody that's on. Even shout out to the new people that's opening up podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you
man,
know,
doing anything.
the Knicks giving y'all opportunity where you feel good about podcasts. But the real podcasters can hold it down when the season is terrible.
Yeah.
So if you in here only because we doing good, you know what I'm saying? You're not being a very good podcast host. I need to make sure you're hosting when things are tough, when things are bad, because all the podcast hosts I know, they've been, through the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what Denzel said.
Yeah, man.
Get the rain, you got to get through the mud. So
yeah, man.
I know guys have been through the mud. If I get a chance to tell RJ something tonight, I'm getting ready to tell him, don't you never let nobody get in between our own squad when we taking the ball out of bounds like you did with O'Neal the other day. Just rough you off, man. You never do that, man. You know Oklahoma would have split that dude, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
then you, as soon as the ball get thrown in, you get an offensive foul.
Yeah.
You still went got that before the play even got thrown in bounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna get ready to hop off, my brother.
Yo, hey, so I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate you, man. Love you, man, for all the kind words, man, throughout all the years. Man, I appreciate all the motivation and the things and stuff that you provide for Knicks Universe, bro. Always have, even through these rough ups and downs, man. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you being rock steady. And for those that don't know what rock steady mean, that's like the highest compliment you can give one of your homeboys, right? Hey man, you know what I'm saying? That's the highest compliment. When you tell your homeboy, man, thank you for being rock steady, that means everything, bro. That's everything. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, man. But I'm gonna get back to talking these Knicks. I'm gonna probably stir up some arguments in here in a few seconds, just because that's what some Knicks fans like to do. And nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nothing mean, malicious, just some conversations. But be safe on that road though, bro.
No doubt, man. And shout out to our new dunk guy we got going in there. We got a new dunker going there to get that title. So when y'all hear me say nutso, I ain't talking about above the rim. I'm talking about above the sim. Be prepared for that. Get ready to come out to above the sim. Yeah. I'm gonna holler at y'all people, man.
All right, boss.
Yeah, Boogie, take care.
All right, JM.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, so Joe, I have this question to ask, and I've been kind of not wanting to talk about it some, but kind of wanting to talk about it some. Are we losing Obi, bro?
I wouldn't say, but I think so, man. I think they tried probably moving him there at the deadline. You heard a couple of rumors between Indiana, you heard Utah, you heard a couple of teams, and I'm not opposed to it, man. It's Obi's not giving me enough. Like he's supposed to be like an athletic scorer when we drafted him. He can't create his own shot. He needs the ball to be fed to him. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't rebound well. And we're in a stage now where we can't be sitting around waiting for him. I know he's only young, but he's 25 years old. He's going to be 26 this year, so he's entering his prime. So I think the Knicks have to make a decision soon on paying him and Quickley. So I think they'll pay Quickley and then move on from Obi. And I think it's time. I think I'm kind of disappointed we didn't move him in the trade deadline and got something back, because I think this team's ready to start winning. We can't have Obi hold us back, because now it's like he's getting 10 minutes, but I don't see much use out of his 10 minutes.
Right.
I'd rather a defensive stopper or a shooter play like a stretch four, play them 10, 15 minutes instead of Obi.
I got something for you. Let me bring in Dre real quick. Hold on.
Salute.
That's crazy.
I got
crazy, bro.
It's hard. It's so hard. You got to come in real subdued. You got to pretend like you got to be cool, calm, and collected.
Bro, I swear I can hear Rock Marcy spitting on that, bro.
Talking about all types of like random, obscure references to brandings of clothing. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear Rock Marcy jumping in and talking about beef on the other side of town.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I was I was
Um,
I was listening to Joe talk about Obi, and kind of I'm inclined to agree. Like we kind of we need to let him go for his own career's sake at this point. Like we're kind of we're both in this weird position where we're not necessarily going to get, I guess, the best value trading him at the deadline. So I guess it's better off we trade him to another team that can have his rights next year, and then he has basically an audition, like a full season audition with another team for an extension.
I just feel like he doesn't. We don't provide enough of value for him in playing time, and he's not. For me, he's not providing enough of value for us right now. He's 10 minutes just so Julius can sit, and that's really it. He doesn't hit the three. Just no offense. Like he's not an offensive player we thought he was. Can't play
He's
defense, doesn't rebound. So I would rather somebody in there that would come in a 3-and-D wing to play his minutes,
for sure
you
because
know,
I
and
was
try and
I
get
was
some sort of value for him.
I agree with you because he's the type of the guy that gets counting stats within the flow of a game. He's not going to dictate the pace. He's just going to play to whatever pace is dictated towards him. So, like, if he were to play, hypothetically, if he were to play 30 minutes, he could get you 18 and 8 in 30 minutes. But
but I don't
we
think it'd be an impactful
yeah,
18 and
yeah,
8.
exactly. Which is what I was going to get to. He's not imposing his will on the game when he's getting at 18 and 8, playing within the flow of the offense or the flow of the game. And I think he'd probably be better off going to a team like hypothetically, if he played with Tyrese Halliburton, that would probably be the most ideal situation for him. Someone like that instead of
Um, can I
guys like
interject? Can
yeah,
I
go ahead.
and let me inject something into this. I want to inject a different view
Okay.
of Obi, right? Because what I feel like is Obi Toppin is any of y'all are football fans?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I'm a Jets fan, but yeah.
yeah.
Um, I think Obi Toppin is um I want to say this in a way that's respectful. Obi Toppin is like a Andre Rison. Anybody remember Andre Rison,
Yeah,
the wide receiver from the Falcons?
yeah.
When nobody remembers Andre Rison as a first year receiver with the Indianapolis Colts, though, right?
But but he made his name on another team.
But he left a standard old school system and went to a new age system and thrived, right?
Hmm.
It's the same thing about Jimmy Smith. Anybody remember Jimmy Smith, the
Jaguars.
from the Jaguars?
Hmm.
Right. Nobody remembered him as a dude that got cut by the Dallas Cowboys. Right. We remember him being picked in the expansion draft by the Jaguars, right? And then him having a great career.
Hmm.
Right. Um, I think Obi has two options if he wants to continue to get NBA checks. Right. He can either Obi because I can go find a 6'8" leaper from anywhere. How tall is Obi? 6'9", 6'9" leaper. I
Yeah,
can go
he's six
find
nine.
I can go find a 6'9" leaper from anywhere, right?
You remember he had
Right.
Wooten and
Huh?
kind of Wooten in the G League.
Yeah.
Wooten.
Yeah, Tony Wooten. Yeah. Yeah. I can find that guy from anywhere, right? But what you can't find is a athletic guy that can defend at an elite level, knock down the three, and is an athlete in space. And I think Obi can be all of those guys. I think Obi Toppin can become an elite defender, right? I think he can become an elite defender, right? And a knockdown 3-point shooter and use his God given athletic ability in space, right? And the player I'm talking about is if a shout out to DJ Cash. DJ Cash is in the building. Cash is in the building. Cash was good. I think Obi should focus less on being Amari Stoudemire-ish and more on being Sean Marion-ish.
Ooh.
If that makes sense, right?
It makes a ton of sense, but I was gonna say Sean Marion was what 6'8", 6'7", getting like 14 boards a night.
Right.
Like Matrix was different. Probably one of the most underrated players from his entire era.
Yep. But the thing about Sean Marion is, and not to diminish what he did in his career, right? The thing about Sean Marion is we knew he was an athlete coming out of Vegas. Right? You knew he was an athlete coming out of Vegas, right? The thing about Sean Marion is an athlete coming out of Vegas, you didn't know what he was going to be as a pro because his handles were suspect, right? His handles were suspect. And then his jump shot was ugly, right? He wasn't the best passer, but you knew he would throw it down your throat in traffic. That's what you knew off the rip with Marion, right? He was fast. He could run. He could jump. He could do all these things.
Fast,
what
physical.
We didn't know, what we did not know off the rip with Marion is that he could become an all-time NBA defender, all-time NBA wing defender. And I'm not saying he's a top 200 defender. That's not what I'm saying. Top 200. He's not a top 200 defender of all time. Because those places are reserved for the Elijah Wans, the Pat Ewans, the David Robinsons, the Scottie Pippins, the those guys, the Derek McKees, those guys, right? Joe Dumars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what he did become though is a great team defender. A great individual defender and an excellent, damn near perfect, almost perfect team defender. When you aligned him with guys like Deshaun Stevenson.
Right. I was gonna say it was a shame he got a bad rap because he never made an All-NBA defensive team in his entire career, but he got a bad rap because of the Suns.
Right.
Because of the Suns, everyone else on the Suns didn't know how to play defense, and D'Antoni didn't emphasize it.
Right. But you knew he was a good defender.
Right. Individually, they put him on team's best offensive perimeter threat, even if he was a two guard, a small forward, a power forward, even some centers.
Right. So what I'm saying to Obi is when you look at advanced analytics for Obi, you'll be surprised. Like every time you look at advanced analytics, you're like, why is Obi name keep coming up in these advanced analytics defensively? Like when you look at field goal percentage, like defensive field goal percentage, when you look at points per shot taken and things like that on Obi, you're like, dang, you know what I'm saying? When you look at the top, say 50, you always see Obi like 38, 21, 42, all these different things. You're like, why does Obi's name keep coming up? Is it Tom Thibodeau's system or is it Obi? Now listen, if it's Tom Thibodeau's system, then maybe you can make Obi better into the system. Now, if it's just Obi, maybe you can get Obi incorporated into Tibbs' system. So either way, you can improve Obi. Obi, stop thinking about dunking all the damn time. Shut somebody down. Can you do that?
Box somebody out. Get on the offensive glass.
Right. What would it take for Obi to do that? First of all, Obi's got to get stronger. Obi's got the skinniest legs on the Knicks, bro. Of all the dudes out there, you surprised Obi can walk on them things, bro.
It's one of those things because Obi's physically near his prime already, so I don't know if he could even do that. It's like basically how we view Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler had them skinny legs his whole career. He built his upper body up
Yeah.
but the legs stayed the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's hard for a guy that's like if Obi was 21, 22, I would say there would be a little bit more credence towards it. Kind of like how Jaren Jackson came into the league skinny everywhere, and he
Yeah.
filled out. But he came into the league at 19. Obi came in at what, 22, 23?
23?
Yeesh.
23, I think.
Yeah.
Because he'll be
So like
20. Will he be 25 next month?
I think he's gonna be 26 soon. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Hold on. He turns 25 March the
Oh, he
4th.
turned 25. Okay,
Jeez.
I thought he turned 26.
Yeah, he turns
Because he
20.
looked like a.
No big difference. He's too old
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what he's given now. Like if he was a little bit younger, you understand. You need time to develop. But by the time we develop what we want him to be, he's going to be damn near 30.
Yeah. And we won't have time to wait.
Nah, especially when he's due a payday. Like you could hold on to him for another year. I think was it 1 year restricted free agency?
Yeah.
He has one more year. Well, we're gonna pick. I think we picked up his option already, so he's gonna be here, or he has one more year, and then he turns into a restricted free agent after next year.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like IQ.
And they're not gonna pay because the way they cap with them, how much money they've already tied up on some players. I doubt they're gonna pay both Obi and
Nah,
Quickley.
they're gonna
So
pay
they're-
Quickley, and that's it.
It'll be Quickley, and then they won't pay Obi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll
So,
look probably gone this off.
yeah.
I was gonna say something completely sidetracked. Somebody offered the Brooklyn Nets 2 first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith, and they rejected it.
Yeah.
That is wow. 2 for him?
Yeah.
And they got offered, I think, was it 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, which is a top role player, but he's not worth no 4 first-round picks.
And,
Well-
and you know what this the message this is sending to y'all is this. The message that this is sending is scouting departments don't see generational talent throughout the draft in the next few years. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I've been looking at too. Like outside of this draft here, the next few drafts are gonna have very good players, but no LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type player in it.
Also,
Right.
Freezy, the teams that are giving up picks, they're going to be late 20s anyway. So you're not even thinking about like Memphis offered 4 picks for Mikal, and while we say Mikal is not worth that, the Nets have no incentive to tank because they don't own their own picks. So they're better off just playing it out and trying to be competitive. And if they were to trade Mikal, they would trade him for a younger player that can help them win, rather than trading him off for a bunch of picks to like the Memphis Grizzlies, who are going to be at the top of the NBA for the next 5, 6, 7 years, just because Ja's there.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that, but I think that the things go hand in hand. What I'm saying is, ultimately, first round picks, if they're not top 7 protected, they don't have value.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with the second round picks. They're like, let's just give them 13 second round picks. The draft ain't gonna be deep, no way. What's the point of holding on to second round picks and we wind up picking Trevor Kills, who we're gonna have to wait a million years to get ready?
Hey man, he's on an NBA bench right now.
yeah. He won't get any run. He won't get any run in the short term. Right, but what I'm saying about the Obi thing is, Obi has to be the caterpillar that turns into the butterfly, bro. Right? He's got to be that. Obi's got to be that, or he's gonna be the dude that when you play 2K, you always wondering why. How come he always in free agency? He gonna be that dude. You know what I'm saying? How come ain't nobody picking up Obi on the pick? He's gonna be that dude, right? Or the dude that goes overseas and averages 30 a game, and you wonder why an NBA team won't give him a contract, right? So ultimately, What I'm getting at is Obi has to make the transformation to the one thing that he used to be to the one thing he has to be in order to keep eating in the NBA. Got to be that. Got to be that, bro. And what I'm saying is instead of being a offensive force,
You
Obi
should
should
focus
be
on the
a
little things, the smaller things.
defensive stopper. Derek McKee. Dare I say Charles Smith, Robert Ory. Go down that road.
Because that's the
Because
only
I
way he's
said
going to
that.
last in the league. It's the only way he's going to get to 10 years of service or something like that.
Right. Right. And I used to say that about Frank. I was like, yo, Frank Ntilikina needs to get off the ball and become Bruce Bowen. Because if he don't, he's not going to last in the NBA trying to be an NBA point guard. That's not him. And Frank Ntilikina tried to continue to play point guard. And you see the way his career went. Right? You see the way his career went. Said the same thing for Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox needs to bulk up and be a physical power forward that shoots the ball. Kevin Knox should have been focused on being more of a Jay Crowder as opposed to a Jason Tatum. And he wanted to be, you could see it, trying to be like the Jason Tatum like player.
He was told he was a scorer his entire life. And he was spoon-fed even at Kentucky as that. And then he got to the league and he kind of got a reality check that he isn't as good as he thought he was. And that's really no indictment on him. It's not everyone is destined to be that guy. It's the way you pivot away from that. And some guys figure it out early. Like Grimes, for example. Grimes is the ultimate example. Grimes was all McDonald's, all American, top two, like
Point guard.
top 1-2 player in the country.
He was supposed to be D'Angelo Russell. The right-handed
Right.
D'Angelo Russell. That's Grimes coming out of high school.
And he got an attitude adjustment as soon as he got to Kansas, and then figured how to change his game and be more pliable to the next level of basketball. And now he's a 3-and-D player.
Right.
Granted, he's struggling right now, but his skill set is of use in this iteration of the NBA. And he wasn't really known as a defender coming out of high school.
No,
he was
not.
He was trying to be Brandon Roy out there.
Right. Right.
And
Right,
that's
a big physical point guard, and you can't knock him, bro. For the one thing I'm gonna say about Grimes, the first misstep is this: it's rare that a point guard is 200 pounds or greater, and Grimes was 210.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare that an elite point guard is going to be 200 pounds or more. I know they're out there, and I know somebody is going to nitpick what I'm saying, like Uncle Freezy, but James Harden was 235. Rare. I'm saying it's rare, right? It's rare that a point guard is that heavy, right? Generally, point guards are in.
Oh, I think Freezy may have disconnected.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. It was just a little blip on the radar. But the thing with Grimes is this. I want Grimes to succeed, bro. I think adding Josh Hart may have added an element. I don't know what that element is, but something.
Right.
I don't know if the Josh Hart addition is going to be good or bad for the development of RJ and Grimes. I know it's excellent for the New York Knicks as a basketball team, though.
Yeah, for this year especially.
Yeah.
It just adds a certain dynamic energy that we didn't have. Like we didn't really have anybody that could get 50-50 balls on this team. Like Josh Hart turns the 50-50 ball into a 70-30 if he's anywhere around the basketball.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. I can agree with that.
And
You know what I'm
there's
saying?
been so many times just in this year we lost games where we just didn't get the 50-50 ball. Like the Luka play. Like the Luka play for the free throw. You think Josh Hart is not catching that ball?
Yeah.
Josh Hart is
Right.
snatching that ball out of or somebody's getting fouled.
Yes.
Something's happening, but he's getting that ball.
Josh Hart is, and I know people may not understand this when I say it, but Josh Hart is like 1/3 of what John Starks used to be. Like John Starks was like the guy that would do all that stuff that Josh Hart does, right? And do the things that Quickley does, right? And was an excellent athlete, pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was like the little engine that could. Like he was like the dude in a Quickley type body that did the stuff that Josh Hart does, and like guarding up John Starks at 6'2.5", guarded Jordan, guarded Reggie Miller, guarded Clyde Drexler, Mitch Richmond, those type of guys. Oh boy, here come trouble, y'all. Here come trouble. Speaking of energy, oh boy, speaking of energy.
Hello,
What's up,
Venetra.
boss?
Is he there?
Oh boy.
He think he might have disconnected for a second.
Oh, okay. I ain't gonna do that again, bro. That's all the lung power I got for the day, bro. I'm sorry when he come back in, I'm gonna have to like get on in here. I can't do that twice. Yeah, man. But
I wanted to hear his input. He'd be back.
Yeah, the thing with Obi, man, is Obi has got to, and I can't stress this any more strongly. He's got to change who he is as an NBA player. Oh, the Knicks are going to have to change their entire program, coaching staff, front office, everything to accommodate Obi. And generally, what happens in that case where something has to change, usually the player is the one that goes.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit. What I want him to change more is I think the 3-point shot could come. It's his defense, and that's something I don't think that's going to come up to par with what we need because it's that bad. And
so, but Joe, who's a better defender, Obi or Dorian Finney-Smith?
Dorian Finney-Smith.
It's Obi. The numbers say it's Obi. Who's a better defender, Cam Johnson or Obi Toppin? The numbers say it's Obi.
The numbers are saying Obi.
Yep, the numbers say it's Obi.
But see, that's the thing is in such small sample sizes too, because these guys are playing 30 minutes. Like Obi's getting 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What's he averaging? Like 14 minutes or something.
I think it's less than that now. I think it's less
I
than that.
I think overall season it's like 14, but I think it's down to like just above 10 minutes a game
10.
now.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of weeks.
Right.
More or less since he come back from his injury.
Yeah. And so the thing I'm saying is it sounds like I'm like, you know what I'm saying, going to bat for Obi and pounding the table for Obi. Bro, what I'm saying about Obi is I think the potential is there for him to be a great defender, to be that guy. I don't know if Obi wants to accept that role, being that he was the number 8 pick in the draft and the National College Player of the Year and all that stuff, right? I think we should take Obi and turn him into Devin George. Anybody, y'all remember Devin George?
Yeah, the Well, he was the small forward on that Lakers team in '04, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a glue guy.
Freaky.
What up, Demond? What up, Demond in the chat? What up, Ron
What
Cleveland?
up?
Ron Cleveland in the chat. What up, Keith?
Yeah, man. What's good, y'all?
What
What's
it
up,
do,
Keith?
fellas?
Yeah, man. I think we could ultimately, if Obi adopts a new player prototype, I think we can maybe turn him into a Anthony Mason type player. I
But
just
that
don't see him. But
Stop. Stop with the
that
disrespect. Stop with the
that
disrespect.
that requires
Stop
like
with
a
the
mentality
disrespect.
of physicality that I don't think Obi possesses, and you gotta have that coming into the league. Obi's a finesse player,
no, you don't.
relatively.
I don't think so, Dre. I don't think so, Dre. I
Well,
saw
that kind of
Scottie Pippen.
physicality.
I saw Scottie Pippen come in the league as the softest dude. Scottie Pippen was the softest
fair.
NBA player that you
That's
had
fair.
ever seen, bro. And he got tougher through battles. I saw Charles Barkley grab him by the back of his shorts and throw him into. I saw Jerome Kersey scream at Pippen on the break, "I'm gonna knock your head off!" And Pippen went to the rim and tried to do like a layup. And guess what Kersey did? Knocked his head off. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? And maybe some of the older crowd, and respect. I'm saying this with respect to Ron Cleveland and Free Keith, who's older than all of us. That I'm just gonna kind of lean on their experience when I say Scottie Pippen came into the league very soft.
As
Right?
90-day dishwater.
Yes, soft. And through battles, he got tough.
Yeah, he got beat up. Man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I don't want to come in and just run to the table. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Freezy.
Shout out.
Joe, man.
Guy.
Free Keith, man. It's been a minute, man. When I saw you, I was getting ready to get in my exercise. I done, stretch these old bones and stuff, man. Getting ready to get on this thing so I don't pop nothing. And then I see you pop out. I was like, man, I ain't been on screen with you in a long time. I was like, let me jump in here, man, for a little bit, man.
Yo, this is one of my favorites right here. Let's do it. And and this is the first time I'm getting to talk to you while we a good team right now, bro.
Say that again. They ain't hear you.
While we a good team, for the people in the back who ain't hear me.
Freezy.
This is the first time I'm talking to you since we've been a good team.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this too, Freaky. I ain't mean to hijack you, Freezy. Because I know I'm gonna let you get back to it, but I'll say this, man. You ain't gonna hear me say front office malpractice no more.
Yeah.
That's out the door now, man. Because they got a vision, and I see it. They got
2004 Pistons. Yes, they do. They got a
vision, man. They got a vision. And I tell you what else, man. I see that the coach in the front office is aligned. And I couldn't say that until this year of what I'm seeing now with getting Brunson and then getting Hart, man. That Hart thing is what really let me know that they are aligned, because Thibodeau wanted that guy when he was in Minnesota and almost got fired from Minnesota for him. A lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He wanted them to draft him. So Tibbs had his eye on him a long time. And you know what, Freezy, y'all, I heard Tibbs compared him to, and I thought it was a very good comparison. He compared him to Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Buckets.
And I was like, you know what? That's exactly what Jimmy used to do for Chicago. Yeah. Exactly. That was a very good comparison. Go ahead, Freezy.
Is that the reason why they drafted Grimes? Because they saw maybe Josh Hart in him?
I think so.
We're joking, but Grimes is looking into his future if he's looking at Hart. Grimes' game is definitely Hart's game. Hart is Grimes 4 years, 5 years more mature.
Yeah, they're mirror images.
Okay.
They got the exact same game. Hart is just more advanced at it.
And how you know, and this goes back to what we always said too about Grimes. You remember we were saying Grimes is the type of player he can play in any system. Look at how many teams Hart done been on.
This is 4th team, bro.
Yeah, and it's not because the guy ain't got the talent. You know, sometimes these front office do ridiculous stuff, man. Just like look at Harrison Barnes, what he's doing right now for Sacramento, and that dude done bounced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all timing. It's all timing and opportunity.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not that
Hart's-
you're a bad player. It's just situations.
Hart's problem was that he wasn't a star player. He played well enough to be a trade piece because none of those teams was complete that he was on. So he played himself into becoming a real good trade piece on each one of those teams.
Man, this dude is definitely the glue for the Knicks. And I couldn't tell you the last time I can say we had a glue guy. Reggie Bullock was the closest thing to a glue guy that we had. And I wasn't crazy about Reggie, but it took me a long time to accept who Reggie was. You know what I mean? But this dude here, man. Hey,
But Grimes is trying to be that. Grimes has been trying to be that.
Right.
This is the version that we need, though. Yeah. I love having both of them. Grimes gonna have to sit down though.
So Walter White says, relax, man. Josh Hart got traded twice. One time for Anthony Davis and the other time for CJ McCollum.
Two studs.
That means that he was a good trade piece.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what that means.
Yeah,
because you ain't trading trash. I'm not taking trash for AD. I'm not taking trash for McCollum. No. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't a star player. He played himself into good positions to be very good trade assets. That's a good player.
Man, you talk about AD, who was at one point the best center in this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And McCollum, he's an all-star guy at least once or twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, McCollum's a very good. CJ McCollum's a very good NBA player. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar jumps in this morning and says, "So watch the nonsense." Hey, Paris Duggar, this show is not nonsense, bro. Come on, you got it. Come on, Paris Duggar. Come on, Paris.
You gotta have. Catso had no imagination.
Yeah, and when you talking about the show is we feel like Barnes Chairs is fire, Paris Duggar. There are other options out there. You don't have to be here. You can step.
He know it's fire. He wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't.
He's just trolling you, man.
I know. Yeah, I got it.
You know how Paris does.
No. I'm saying, you know.
Shout out to Paris.
He know. I'm coming at him with the homeboy talk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling him. You know how it is. You know how you talk to your people. Like, you ain't gotta like it. You can step. You know.
Freely, I'm not joking when I say this, but this team, man. But now, and I don't like to overrate people. But when I think about impact to the team, we already knew that the Knicks could play with anybody. We knew we could play with anybody. But now I feel like we can beat anybody.
Okay.
That's
the difference between playing with somebody and beating them.
Okay. And it don't take superstars. It doesn't take superstars to get to that point either. Like, and that's what I've been trying to say for the longest time. Like, we keep focusing on trying to get to be that team the same way. Like this formula. Like, oh, we gotta find a superstar. Let's put together a good team. Put together a good team and beat cats with good basketball.
And Freaky, to your point on that, you know what team I think about when you said that? And I always think about that. This team that was the number one, they had the number one record, but they didn't have no superstars on their team. They was coached by Budenhauser, and it's the team we play tonight. Remember when Atlanta was the number one seed, had the best record, and everybody knew they weren't going to win the championship, but there was
they had
Joe
team. Johnson, right? Is that the time?
Joe Johnson, Al Horford, and them guys,
and Josh Smith and Jeff Teague.
Yeah. That's what the Knicks look like they're trying to put together.
Joe Johnson was a bucket, though.
We looking like, because I'm gonna tell you right now. Man, Brunson is a star, and to get the superstar status, if he get us to second round of the playoffs, man, and putting up these kind of numbers he putting up, man, you're gonna have to start mentioning him, because what he's doing is ridiculous. And Julius Randle right there with him, close. And anybody, I'm gonna say it on here again. Anybody who talking about trading Julius Randle, you need to stop with that foolishness. I don't know what you want. 2-time All-Star, seventh in MVP voting. 7th.
Woo!
Don't even talk to me about trading. If somebody asks me about trading Julius Randle this year, I can't handle conversation with you, man. I'm sorry. I can't.
Woo!
I can't.
Well, one correction. That the Atlanta team that won 60 games, Joe Johnson was not on that team.
He wasn't on that team.
Nah,
Who
it
was
was
it?
So who was that? Who was on that team? Was that
Dennis Schroeder,
I know
Paul
Al Horford
Millsap,
was on
Al
that team.
Horford, DeMar
Paul
Carroll,
Millsap was a guy. That's
Jeff
right, that's right.
Teague.
Jeff Teague.
Cats don't like the front office.
Kyle Korver. It was
Dominique Wilkins, Josh Childress, Lenny Wilkins.
But that's the freaky point, man. All them names he just called.
There were a
Man,
team.
every one of them guys were ballers. Could ball. Every last
Ballers. Like something we could. It's harder to do. It's harder to do, especially in today's environment. But I feel like putting together a quality team is where this whole thing needs to change. Like I'm talking about not just us. Like the league they have to go back to that. They have to.
Freaky.
And I'm glad that we got Perry. We got Perry, who was in the front office of the 2004 Pistons team that I love so
me
much.
with the Pistons thing, man.
Love it.
The
Pistons
thing was not
keep
a model.
bringing it up. What do you mean? It was a model. It was a model. They got a chip. They got a chip. It was a model.
Breezy, I think I'm gonna have to side with Free Keith, man, because it's the same
It's a model.
situation.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Them guys weren't superstars. They weren't
Them
superstars.
superstars. They were stars. I'm not saying we don't need stars. We don't need no Giannis. We don't need a Giannis. We don't need a LeBron. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Keith. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Keith. The overwhelming majority of title teams have a top 5 player on it, playing at a top 5. Now.
No. History period.
The
overwhelming majority in history period had top 5 players on it.
But you know what though? Rasheed Wallace was that dude for them. Because remember, once they got him from Portland, that took them.
That's what I'm saying. But he wasn't a superstar.
But he was an all-star. He was an all-star.
Definitely. I'm not saying we don't need that quality.
But you know why he wasn't a superstar? Because of this thing right here.
He underachieved.
used to get so many texts, man, and I'm a North Carolina man. You know what I mean? That's my team, and I used to watch.
We feel for you, bro.
You know what I mean? Hey, yeah,
he lacked mental discipline.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. But
he like emotional discipline.
It
wasn't that he wasn't smart. It was just when I said that, I'm talking about you know what I mean? Not about him not being smart, because he was a very smart player, had footwork. Matter of fact, he was right on par, and people don't talk about it enough, but he was right on par with Tim Duncan. Period. Book it.
Well, maybe in terms of talent,
he's
but other stuff.
Talent. He was right on par with him, but it was you know what Rasheed
between the
Wallace
ears.
Was? When it came to getting in trouble, he was Julius Randle on steroids, man. When it came to getting them texts and running his mouth with the refs, that's the only reason why. If he could have stayed away from that,
a lot of
get me a wing.
Remember, Rasheed
get me a
text.
Get me a
wing.
Go ahead.
Get me a wing. Get me a wing.
Hold on for a split
second.
I love Rasheed Wallace, man.
Will is in the building.
Please get the money.
What's up, Will?
Yo, salute to my Lawrence Tears family, to the panel. Shout out to the chat. Everybody was good, y'all. I just wanted to tap in. I'm in the city right now, so you know what I mean. I just wanted to jump in, say what's good.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
everything good with y'all.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Respect that man. Call him William.
Playing, man. The Knicks is back. Knicks is back.
Shout out to my boy Free Key. Shout out to Ron.
The Knicks is back, man.
Yo, I want to say something real quick. Freezy. Al said he wanted to make sure we was okay because he tried to write to you in the chat he put your name on our Super Bowl box and you happen to win. And I said, Freezy deserve it. He's just lucky. He don't even got to be there. But you won earbuds. You won, I think, second or third quarter. Keith Turner won fourth quarter. So I just wanted to tell you, DSJ won and Don Puller won first quarter, $25. I just wanted to tell you, I'm going to mail you your earbuds out this week. You won.
Okay.
We put your name on there, even though you wasn't there. You know, you still big supporters for us and everything we do. We couldn't leave your name out, and you happen to win. So I just wanted to come up here to tell you that. Congratulations, you won a pair of earbuds, Galaxy earbuds from the for the love of the game Super Bowl box.
Man, I appreciate that. That's a blessing, man. You know, God blesses me every day in a lot of stuff, man. And this is just
I know that we don't even know about, right?
Yeah, this is just further.
I know. Because you put that positive energy out there, Freezy. But I just wanted to tell you, brother, I didn't want to disturb y'all conversation. I'm excited about the Knicks. I've been excited. If y'all watch me, I already said if I didn't expect them to beat some of the teams that we beat and that I'm cool with it. Josh Hart is perfect. He brings the intangibles. You know, he's going to make the hustle plays that we need. Hopefully it's contagious to other players who don't believe in playing that way. Knicks is looking real good, man. It's a good time to be a Knicks fan. One thing I gotta say is, if you was over there in Flatbush, Brooklyn fan, don't try to sneak in through the back door. I'm watching all of y'all. I'm watching every single Knicks fan. If you was halfway, don't do it. We not jacking it. Stay over there for real now. For real, stay over there. It's been our city, but now dudes really gonna try to sneak through the back door, so we gotta keep our eye open, fellas.
It's about to be a dub. It's about to be a dub on new fan applications. It's about to be a dub. That bandwagon gonna close
right now. Yeah, we're not accepting no more right now until we get everything together. First of all, see us next season. We'll think about it.
See us next season.
Hey, Harper, you know every band need a roadie.
Yeah.
Every band need a what, Ron?
Every band need a roadie. We need somebody to carry the bags.
Nah, we got some loyal Knicks people that we can get to do that. Everybody ain't going, you know what I'm saying? So,
right. Hey man, I want to address one thing, man, right quick, man. That I saw. Shout out to my man Ball Don't Lie in the chat, man. So Ball Don't Lie, you said Ron, you said RJ can't get traded either. Now you're flip flopping. Let me share something with you, and I'm gonna give you an illustration so you can see it. Yeah, everybody remember when I had that show? I know what I said. I stand on it. I said, don't talk to me about trading RJ. Based on how RJ was playing. The way RJ is playing now, RJ is a shell of who he was from year one. And I'm gonna illustrate it this way for you, Ball Don't Lie. Hey, you ever went and bought a car? You ever went and bought a brand new car? And once that car start acting up, start getting old, start maybe leaking oil, smoking, or whatever the case, you gonna keep driving that car. What you gonna do with that car? You gonna trade it. Yeah. You gonna get rid of it. Yeah. The problem for me with RJ, it ain't so much the offense, because I know offense comes and goes. But I've always been a man that's all about defense, man. I've said that a million times. If you want to get love from me, play defense. RJ ain't played defense since year one. Since year one, he has regressed. And I don't know what's wrong with him, but when I look at where this team is at, I'll be a fool to sit around and still wait on RJ when this team is one piece away from really making some damage. Julius Randle is 27, 28 years old. Brunson is what, 26? These guys are in their prime. I'm not sitting around and waiting on RJ or Obi or any of these guys. If they ain't right, they got to get up out of here. And it's looking like the summer, and that's why I said I can't wait till the summertime to see the moves at the end of the season, because a lot of these players that y'all got y'all feelings attached to, they're going to be up out of here. Don't go buying their jersey. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to be gone. Tom done showed you. He got Cam up out of here. Who a lot of these people been wanting to hug and kiss. He got Cam up out of here, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I ain't never been one to shine players up when they're playing. Just shine players up when they're playing good, but when they're playing bad, I want to pacify them and get. No, I'm not babying no players, man. RJ been here. See, I didn't want to talk about. I came in here. I said I was not going to talk about RJ today, but you took me there. RJ been here 4 years. This is 4th year. RJ had played more minutes as a starter, was given a silver spoon. Start from the get-go. And you haven't seen any change in RJ game. One can argue RJ is still the same dude he was at Duke. RJ turns the ball over. RJ is not impacting winning. And Tom is pulling this dude out of the game near the end of the game. This guy is sitting. But this is the guy y'all still want to make talk, but he's an all-star. But you want to run Julius Randle out of town. But you killed Julius Randle all season when Julius Randle been doing stuff just with the mental stuff. But this guy been performing. But everybody want to make so many excuses for RJ. If I hear another Knicks content creator talking about RJ just 22, man, get out of here with that, man. Because these are the same creators that say Cam is who Cam is.
Right.
Okay. And Cam's 22. Came out in the same draft, man. So miss me with that, man. You know what I mean?
Cam is 23.
Based on new information, and RJ is not that dude. And Freezer, you remember? I'm going to take you back, revisionist history. Freezer, remember what I said this summer when I came back to the shows? Remember what I said? It was 2 things I said. I said Julius Randle is going to have a bounce back year.
Yep.
And the other thing I said RJ has reached his ceiling.
Okay.
And then the last thing, when some of these same fans wanted to give RJ a $160 million max contract this summer, I said, y'all crazy. Ain't no way. Man, you would have gave RJ $160 million, the whole league would be laughing at us right now.
Yep. Yep.
So, but ain't nothing but love ball, don't lie, man. I'm just passionate. You done heard me talk before, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. You change based on new information. Tibbs do the same thing. When you balling, you play. When you ain't balling, you coming out the lineup.
Yeah. Cat's still telling me RJ's performance is Tibbs' fault. That's what I'm hearing from Cat. Like,
what?
It's still Tibbs' fault.
Nah.
Tibbs ain't using him right.
That man was the second option before Jalen Brunson got in. He's always been inefficient, taking 18 shots to score 20 points.
What I blame Tibbs and them for with that situation is letting him just 4 shots and not tell him that's not how you're supposed to play. Like, what I say about it is, when you're on a team, you got to find a way to help the team. If it's not scoring, it's other ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem that RJ and other players have too in the league, where you think you got to score, and then in the game that you're playing in, you pressing the score, and you're not just making regular plays and smart plays because you're just worried about scoring. You got to just play basketball. That's the problem, and that's why when you mention the Tibbs, that's part of coaching and telling them, like, you forcing this shot, when you watch film, you ain't supposed to have did that. And if you keep seeing it go on, then you're supposed to take him out. If he didn't listen when you told him, then you're supposed to take drastic measures on it. So that's probably what we saw in real time. At the same time, that's what I expect from a player. When he's playing comfortable and he's just playing and letting the game come to him, then you can have a better game. But if you're thinking, it's my job, or I got to score, or another guy can come in here and I got to do this and I got to do that, you're setting yourself up for failure.
It's called self-awareness, man. You got to
because
know it ain't your name.
You didn't even Brunson played next to Luka, so he got a better understanding on how to take over a game. And he was a better scorer with the ball in his hand than RJ was too, because he's a better dribbler. So you got to understand and he's been in the league longer. So it's a lot of reasons why, why players look the way they look. They still trying to do things they don't know how to do yet. And I feel like that's bad, because why you doing that? And that play is not even in front of you right now. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, you got to have a lot of skill to create and to take people off the dribble and move people to get by them. If you see a player don't have that, then that's a problem if you see him keep getting the ball in them positions. That's the only problem I had with Tibbs and them. Besides that, I see when he took him out and he keeping it consistent on what he wanted, then I respected that, because that's how you got to teach as a coach. If they don't buy in just from the win side of things, like, you just want to win or you want to have 20 and lose. I ain't with that 20 and losing shit, because it look ugly when RJ get 20 like that, and that's not good basketball.
Yeah, no. Think about it. I'm gonna ask y'all a question, man. What separates good players from great players? It ain't the athleticism.
It's consistency. That's what
Yeah, it's
separates good
consistency,
players from great
and
players.
normally what's between your ears. You know what
Which
I
is
mean?
consistency, yeah. Like
Yeah,
if you
playing smart.
even keep, yeah.
Think
But
about it when San Antonio was busting up LeBron early in his career. LeBron was the most athletic guy, freak of nature. You know, that San Antonio team was old. But why they beat him? Because they outsmarted him. You know what I mean? And once LeBron smarted, caught up with the athleticism, you were done.
well, I mean, that team was trash. That Cavs team, keeping it a buck. That team was trash outside of LeBron. Unless you're talking about 2014, is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about 07?
Yeah, just as a whole. I mean, even just regular season 2. San Antonio
Right,
was the
right,
one
right.
team that had LeBron number.
Well,
Right,
even the
right.
Mavs team that took down the Heat with LeBron
Yeah, they
had them out
outsmarted
there
him.
looking like juveniles.
Yeah, nobody could doubt that the talent was with Miami. But man, I mean, Jay Kidd was old at the time, about to retire. You know what I mean? Dirk was old, about to retire. They outsmarted him. You know what I mean? And that's what RJ got to get back to that. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about RJ. And I ain't talking about RJ again until it's warranted. I'm disappointed. I'm severely disappointed in him or to anybody on this roster. Because when Jalen Brunson came here, man, and we know what Julius was going to do. I was like, oh man, RJ about to cause a problem. And to not see that is disheartening. And I'll say this. I think this is the first time, Freezy y'all, and I ain't joking, that RJ really have faced adversity in his NBA career.
Okay.
Because RJ been sliding under the radar for a long time.
Okay.
Can we address that? Can we address that? The Paris Douglas, what you call it?
Yeah. Hey, so Paris Douglas, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Douglas says, RJ is Tibbs' fault. He never made him earn his time.
You see that? That right there is the difference in fan opinion and how cats is hypocrites. Because
what third pick earns their time? Like they play third pick.
Exactly. And a bunch of other cats, Frank, Knox, we complained like, oh no, put him out there, let him play. Why? No, this is what they did with RJ. That's what RJ got. This is the result you're getting from that.
And I want to say, like, RJ
he had the ultimate green light.
RJ, for as inconsistent as he was, he had the best 20-game stretch of his career, and then he had that laceration in his hand, and he just turned to
because he came back. The game he came back, and he played 40 minutes. He actually had a very good game.
But after that, it's been up and down since then.
But he was already back. But he was already back after his injury. I can't blame the injury for him going back. Like, if it was from that first game, cool, I got you, and I would agree. Nah, I saw you come back better, and then you went left.
And he dropped 30 in a game.
Nah, you can't tell me it's because of no injury, him coming back. Like, it's not.
I'm not blaming the injury. I'm just saying there's a
injury.
The
injury did happen. The injury did happen at an unfortunate time, though.
It was consistency because that was the best basketball he's played in his entire career. To that,
he was rolling in. He was rolling in. I must admit, he was rolling.
Offensively, though, like
defensively, nah, it was bad. It was bad on defense. Yeah.
He just comes out every night to try to get his 20 points, and you could see it. Like that's the weird thing.
That's the thing is, I'd rather him average 15 and play hard-nosed defense than him.
Yes.
I don't know if he even has the physical capability to check these guys.
Nah.
He just looks slow.
No. Defense. A lot of defense is knowing how to position yourself, knowing where to be, knowing how to anticipate things. He's not putting the energy into that. He's not putting the energy into that.
It looked like no effort. It looked like they just let guys go. Personally, it looked like it's no effort on D. Arms ain't out. They not trying to slide. That's why that defense that Tibbs got with the help, big man coming, sending them to the big. That's insecurity on your wing defense. But you got to make them dudes stay in front of their man. They not even trying.
It's a problem. And with RJ, it's not even little things like that. Like, oh, he's messing up on the perimeter. I'm watching him do stuff like He's at the top of the key. He shoots a three, and he's sitting there. He misses the shot, and he's sitting there with his shooting motion while the rebound is getting rebound right in front of him, and dude blowing past him, and Hart has to go run dude down and catch the pass. He just does some stupid stuff. I don't understand though. Like it's not even like I know that wasn't in the defensive script. Like, what are you doing?
It's some of the things I see him do, like he takes bad angles on screens. Like there was a play last game where he came off a screen behind, I think, Cam Johnson, and he was way well off the play. And it's just like,
Yeah,
I don't get what happened there. Is there a miscommunication? I don't understand that. And then there's been other instances in that game where he played actual solid defense or contested shots. So it's just like the consistency is blowing my mind, where you can see it on some possessions and then you don't see it on others. And like the thing that also like blows my mind, I've seen him with my own two eyes lock up Zach LaVine multiple times last year. Like lock him up. Like Zach LaVine couldn't do nothing against him. And he comes into now, and then there's like lesser role players dropping 20 on him, just running off screens, off curls, just getting shots up, and he just can't keep up, or like he just looks lost. Like and maybe RJ is one of those players where his offense falling off might affect his defense. There are a lot of players like that, where if he's not getting it going on offense, his defense falls by the wayside just because. And I wish it wasn't like that. He normally is an even keel type guy, but it feels like he's almost being broken at this moment.
Yeah, I agree, man. He really it looked like it's a mental situation. For as much as he can play poker, he have a poker face, man. It's like he's a broken player right now, man. It's sad to see. It's really sad to see. You know what I mean? Because
he's going through what Randall went through last season. And I feel like the remedy is the same. You see what Randall is doing. Like that cat is meditating before the tip off. You see him sitting on the sidelines, like getting his mental together. I think RJ needs a bit of that, because I don't think he's a bad player. We see him play better. Like it's something going on in his head. Like he's trying to prove something to somebody. I don't even know who it is.
I think that contract is weighing on him, and there's also the fact that they tried moving him for Donovan Mitchell in the summer, so he's kind of trying to prove
his worth,
to be on the team, because we all know is whatever next star comes available, if it's the summer, he could be in that too. So he's kind of trying to prove something, I guess, between the money and that he fits.
And all of that is weighing on him. So each failed attempt makes it even worse. Like it makes it even worse for the next game, because now it's like every game is more pressure, especially if you did bad the last game.
I'm gonna tell you what my biggest concerns is for him, though. And I said this last night, Freeze. You remember I brought this up, man, because it hit me like a ton of bricks when we talk about him, man. Is that now that his role has changed to him being that third option? Typically, third options, and we all know this. Those guys are normally knockdown, efficient shooters that don't need a lot of touches to get those shots, to make those shots. You know what I mean? The one thing we know about RJ is it takes him a lot of shots to get points. And that's where his role on this team has changed. And he's not an efficient scorer. He's just not that. But the Knicks need somebody who's efficient as that third piece. What made Miami so dangerous when they had LeBron and D Wade, when they transferred Chris Bosh and made him the third option? Chris Bosh was efficient with knocking that three down when they were giving and that mid-range jump shot. RJ is not that kind of player, and that's why it won't surprise me at the end of the season if they move him for that type of player. It won't surprise me, because that's not his game. He has to be at least a second option to really be effective, because he hadn't developed yet fully. You know what I mean? Could he develop into that? Yeah. Will the Knicks wait on him to develop and be that efficient guy that they need as that third option?
I feel his best stretch of his career was last year when we were losing. So he was putting up numbers and looking good, but we were losing games.
But there was less talent
Time
on
is
the
a
team as
factor.
a whole, though. I feel like the team was just less talented because even when he was putting up numbers, Randall was shooting his career worst from the field. Like it was just bad all around. And now Randall just looks like his normal self with less pressure on him. I think it's like just additional pressure. And this is the thing that I noticed with RJ. When he drives and doesn't get calls, he becomes even more complacent and less aggressive. He starts falling away from the rim and avoiding contact, and then starts throwing up even uglier layups. It's like it's a mental thing with him, and he needs a lot. He needs like he's like a plant that needs he needs the right nutrients and ingredients to thrive at all times. He's not one of those infallible players that are super skilled. He needs sunshine. He needs the right amount of water. He needs the right temperature. He needs all these things because he's just not the level of talent that Randall is
Now,
or Brunson is right now. And to be fair, if we contextualize it,
yeah,
Brunson like RJ is one of those guys that's gonna probably need to go to another place to figure himself out, like a Laurie Markkinen or something like that. Because if we're talking about guys that are 22, I've said this before, but to contextualize it, Randall at 22 was a mediocre basketball player on a bad team,
Okay.
and he figured himself out. Brunson at 22 was still in college,
Okay.
and he came, and they both came here and they leveled up and they became better players with time. Not to say RJ will ever get to that level, but he needs to go somewhere else probably to figure out
RJ
where he
needs to do that.
stands. Yeah, he might need to. Where somewhere else with less pressure. Like for instance, if we go on the road right now, I'm almost guaranteed RJ is going to play better just because we're on the road.
Yeah.
Just because we in Atlanta, he
Yeah,
might
a
get
little
25
vacation
tonight.
time.
Julius.
Yeah,
Sprint in the garden.
just
And
because
so
he's in
let me
Atlanta, he
do
might
this
get
real quick.
25.
So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, "What would Knox be, or Obi or Cam be at 40 minutes in 3 years?" Okay, I see you. I
Well,
see you. I understand where you're coming from. And Dre, listen, man,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about RJ. But the unfortunate thing is,
Right.
you can't make the situation perfect for any of these guys.
Nope.
Because the same thing could be said for Obi Toppin also. The same thing could be said for other players.
Right.
The unfortunate thing is these guys are wearing Knicks jerseys, and we don't have time to wait for the situation to be ideal. The reason why we drafted them high is because the team was bad. You know what I'm saying? And so out of respect to RJ's feelings and Obi Toppin's sensibilities, bro, y'all gotta get out here and play ball. Cause the beat don't stop for nobody, bro.
Right.
This team's trying to win games now and get to that next level, to the second round of the playoffs, and then maybe in a year or two get a start. They're trying to get better, and we can't be sitting around waiting for these guys to develop. Like as you said, like RJ's not showing what he's supposed to be as the third overall pick. Obi's I've said 25 this year, and to me doesn't really have the attributes we need coming off the bench to win games. To me, he's just basically 10 minutes around that can sit, and after that, there's really nothing else because he can hit a couple of threes, but he doesn't play defense, he doesn't rebound. So we need players in here that are going to win games and keep this thing moving forward, especially with Brunson's prime.
Yeah,
So
man, I agree. I agree 100%, Joe, man. And what you're saying speak volumes. If anybody was wondering about the direction of this team, this trade deadline lets you know what their thinking is. You know what I mean? I mean, they were trying to get OG. You know what I mean? That lets me know right there. Hey, whose spot he coming for? You know what I mean?
because I think that Grimes is perfectly fits in for what they need as a guy that's going to play defense and shoot, and not a lot of usage. RJ is just very high usage to get what you need out of him. He needs a lot of usage. So to me, it's like that's why I kind of see Hart coming in, and he's going to take RJ's position spot, and RJ's going to go out in a trade for, I don't know, Embiid or Karl Anthony Towns or whoever comes available this summer or by next deadline. I think that's what Hart was brought in for.
Well, I saw an article the other day. They were saying that the Knicks could very well revisit that Levine deal too in the offseason.
Oh
They say
no.
don't. They say, and that's the same thing I said. That's the same thing I said. I said, please don't.
Just keep RJ.
Please don't.
Bit,
Do not bring that guy here with that contract and them knees. No.
Yeah.
No, you got to, bro. You got to go get him, man. Come on.
But I understand why they want him. The skill set is there. My only concern with him, it ain't even the money. It's more them knees. I would hate to have another Amari Stoudemire or Antonio McDyess situation on our hands. You know what I mean? And we know how that McDyess situation was.
The talent is very evident, but
2 years
like,
you could package picks to get off of that deal if it don't work out. Because that's a 5-year deal that only started now. And with Levine's injury history and he's not playing that great, I don't want to be stuck with him. And then 2 years down the line, we're sending off.
It's looking like a Westbrook deal, man.
Yeah. Was he making 50 on the last year of that deal?
He's getting like 45, 45, something like that.
Yeah, I think that contract is one of them escalating contracts, I believe.
And if you look at Westbrook's deal, Westbrook has literally been traded every year of his deal. He's been on a different team the last 4 years straight, every year.
In 1 year, OKC were dying to get off of him a year after they gave him the
Then
deal.
he went to the Rockets. Then he went to DC. Then he went to the Lakers. And then they traded him to, where did they trade him to again? The Jazz.
Gonna get
and they're
bought
going to
out.
cut him. And then he's looking to go to Chicago. So
I'm gonna tell you, his perfect role is a bench is coming off that bench though. That's his role. Running a second unit at this stage in his career.
Who's Zach LaVine?
No.
RJ.
Let me
Westbrook.
Let me get some of the Zach LaVine thing, bro. Y'all have lost it. Y'all have lost your minds, bro. Ron, listen, I don't know if you ever heard of this place, but I'm gonna just say this. I was in a place called Edisto. What was it?
Absolutely heard of it.
I just trying to get gas, right? Me getting gas, you know what I'm saying, stop at the gas station. And people like, hey baby, how you doing? Who your people? I ain't from around here. I just came. Do you know they cook it? They got grits over there in the kitchen. I look and it's a nice old lady. I think her name was Florence. And then Miss Florence in the kitchen. You know, I don't know if you know this, Ron, because I know Ron from the big city. But sometimes in South Carolina, the gas station will have a gas station and a kitchen attached. And sometimes they cook breakfast and they have like the breakfast out there, and then lunchtime they fry chicken.
Good eating.
Is that what we call it down here?
Good eating.
So I'm there and right out in the spot. I'm looking for stuff, right? So I'm looking, let me get some water. And she's like, man, you can get that water for free. They got a soda machine. You know, you get your free refills or whatever. And you go ahead, buy that water, and that machine over there get water for free. It's the same thing, baby. Don't you work here? Ain't you supposed to be selling water? Yeah, this is me. I'll go there, So anyway, I said all of that to say I'm walking through this place, and I'm thinking, if you're the Knicks, and this is just me thinking about Knicks all the time, all the stuff going around me. If you're the Knicks, are you ever at a place where you can turn down elite level talent? Right? And I'm debating,
depends.
And I hear what you guys are saying. I hear what you guys are saying, right? About not taking a chance because it might backfire. Right? But the alternative is not taking the chance. Right? That's the alternative. So you can weigh it kind of both ways. You can take the chance and it might backfire, or you can not take the chance and stay where you at. Right? If you're a Knicks fan, are you comfortable staying where you are?
Absolutely not.
This is just part of what my thinking. Now, I'm not trying to sway one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say, I just want to inject this thing into our conversation going forward. Are the Knicks in a situation where they can turn down the opportunity to bring in high-end talent because an injury might happen? Right? Think about it as you will. but we brought in guys who are less talented and they're hurt. Like, for instance, Mitch Robinson, we drafted him and we re-signed him, right? And he's hurt right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So to think if we go outside the organization to bring in a guy that it might not happen to me, think of it as you will. It's all about how you view spending or using your assets to acquire talent. Right?
I'm gonna ask this question, Freezy.
In my mind, just real quick, in my mind, I'm saying I have to take a chance on bringing in a guy because injuries happen to every NBA player.
I want to say, yeah, and to even get to that point, like with the Bulls took their chance, and injury basically destroyed that team. But is Lonzo Ball that important where the removal of him, despite you having DeRozan, despite you having despite you having this guy Levine and Vucevic, and you're still not a playoff team? That speaks to his impact not being what I think it is or what it should be. And for what you have to give up to bring him in here, does he put us over the top to the point where it makes us prohibitive favorites to get to the ECF? And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I think maybe I'm tripping. But I think two optimal pieces that split up whatever he makes in the $45 million range.
Nope,
I would take two $20 million players over Zach LaVine.
You wouldn't, because you got that. I heard y'all complain about RJ Barrett for 30 minutes, and I just bit my tongue. I ain't say nothing. RJ Barrett next year is gonna make what, $26.5 million?
Yep.
And you got Evan Fournier on the bench making $18 million. Right? That's $44.5 million. That's what Zach LaVine is making. If you offered that to the Chicago Bulls right now for Zach LaVine, they would laugh you out of the NBA.
But you got to take context into. But Brunson is making $24 million.
No. This is not about Brunson. You said you would take two $20 million players
if they
contribute instead of Zach LaVine. That's what you said.
With correct fit. Those guys don't have a correct fit on this team.
Yeah, but correct fit is nebulous. That's like saying, oh, all I need is a Kevin Durant and we'll win a championship. Really? That's all you need? Okay.
There's a host of players.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a Kevin Durant. I'll be right back.
But Freezy, we just traded for a guy that's a correct fit that helps us win, and he's not gonna make $20 million a year.
But those players is hard to come by, really. I mean, those are needle in the haystack type players that can come in and affect your team immediately. It ain't too many of them walking around neither. But you know what I mean?
We can't. But the thing is, the argument was not even that. The argument was the dude might get injured and his paycheck.
Now, Freezy, I'm gonna tell you when I heard about
right
the
now,
deal,
and Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose are on the bench making $34 million and not even
nothing.
playing
For nothing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now. When I first heard about the deal, I was like, "Oh wow!" I started thinking about the talent and what that could mean to this offense with him, Brunson, and Randall. And then at that time, and looking at the deal, we still was gonna have. I believe Grimes was held out of the deal. No, Grimes was in the deal.
Okay.
I think Quickley was held out of it. McBride was held out of it, and I was like, okay. So then I think we had already had Josh Hart too, and they were still trying to get him. So I'm like, okay, I see what the Knicks trying to do, and I got excited because I know what the guy's potential is, what his game is. You know what I mean? But I can't sit there and be like, in the back of my mind, just knowing the history, because it's going back to the same thing with why James Dolan wanted to see Kevin Durant's medical records. Because from what everybody was saying, that really was the thing that pushed him to go to Brooklyn.
Right.
Was when he asked for those medical records. And I can't knock James because we done been burnt. And that was my whole thinking. I'm like, okay, this guy got knee problems. And the way he plays the game of basketball, his style, it ain't just spotting up and shooting jump shots. His style of game is going to be continued pressure on them knees. So, I took all that in consideration, but there's no doubt, Freezy, that guy talent.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The thing about Kevin Durant, So just like what I'm saying, when I was standing in Edisto waiting on this fish sandwich, and I know everybody don't eat fish, man. I like fish. Okay, and don't judge me. I like fried fish on some white bread. Some
Man, I love fish.
Yeah, I just I know. Judge me if you will, right? When I was standing there waiting on this fish, right? I'm thinking, who are we to turn down talent because of? And so we did that with Kevin Durant, right? And then our consolation prizes, we complained about that too. You know what I'm saying? So as a Knicks fan, it's hard to please everybody, right? It's hard to please, right? Like okay, so you don't want Durant, but then Randall come here and make the All-Star team, and we complaining about that too.
Who said they don't want Durant? Who said that? Yo,
I didn't want Durant because of two reasons. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't want him. I didn't want him because of the guy that was coming with him. That was the major problem for me. I didn't want no parts of Kyrie nowhere near this New York Knicks team.
I ain't gonna hold you wrong. Even knowing what I know now, that level of talent, if I knew what was gonna happen to the Nets, I would still try to take a gamble, because we talking about legitimately possibly a top 10 all-time NBA player we talking about, even if you're coming off an Achilles.
My problem was that guy he was bringing with him. that guy is team obliterator. You know what I mean? He ain't never happy nowhere he goes. You know what I mean? He ain't happy nowhere he goes, man. You ran from being with LeBron. I understand you wanted to be the man, okay. But guess what? LeBron was leaving Cleveland. He was leaving that team and set for you in a good place. The table was set. That was gonna be your team. You go to Boston, you blow that up. Then you go to, we know what just happened with the Nets. You know what I mean? So my suspicions were correct on him. And I was like, nah, I don't want him nowhere near. And it's a shame because that guy is the most talented point guard I've ever seen. Period.
Yep. Yeah.
Most talented.
And
it's a shame, man, that other stuff, that foolishness, man, that got to get involved when it come to him, man. He don't know how to play well with others, man.
A good
hey, Ron, but
Luka, he might run Luka out of Dallas at some point too. Luka might say, "You know what? Screw this."
It was if you do, damned if you don't with Luka. Like, you have to do something.
But
if you don't do nothing,
had to do something. But at the same time, is the risk that they're taking. They're bringing a guy who's an All NBA talent for sure, but you might
Luka okayed it, by the way. He wanted him there.
And with no assets, or he might re-sign on a deal and cause him trouble next year.
Well, but here's the thing, like,
hey, y'all hold on for a second.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you've got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you.
Is that a new intro?
No, that's a new intro.
Oh.
Hey, Wiz, you have no idea how long it took me to line up that bass kick. That you have no idea how long it took me to line up that bass kick with those punches and kicks in that karate scene, bro.
That was fire.
Yo, for me to line up the bass kick, you heard the bass in the back, the boom, 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 bro.
Man.
For me to line up that with the kicks and punches, bro, and to line it up with the pieces moving on a chessboard, bro.
Exactly. Bro. Oh man, my brother got to see this, man. Grandmaster Maurice actually got to see this. That's just
yeah, man. Yo, you trying to know? Every time you see the thing move, yo, it's a beat, the bass in the back, bro. Come on, man. When we come to Cali, bro, we expect at least a ham sandwich. Can you take us somewhere so that we can get a Quentin Grimes on the house?
Wiz got it. It's champagne and caviar over there.
And bubble baths, yeah, man.
Roscoe's chicken and waffles. Some jerk chicken as well, because I got some jerk chicken. You got it, man. Appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but I wanted to. My bad. I wanted to answer Joe. Like, Luka has a lot of power in the Mavs organization, so he knows. They knew before they even made the trade. They asked Luka if he was okay with it.
Yes.
So Luka knows. So
I agree.
So, and he was calling for trades before that. Like, he wanted them to do something. So at that point, if they don't do anything, he's gonna be upset. If they do something and it doesn't work out, he's gonna be upset. Like, that's, you gotta appease. You gotta cater to the superstar. Yep.
Yeah, that's the life of a star right there, bro. You got to, because if you don't have a star, then you're the Orlando Magic.
Ooh.
Right? If you don't have a star, bro, you're the Orlando Magic. Is that what you want to be? You're the San Antonio Spurs. Is that what you want to be during your existence?
No. I mean, I was gonna say, because the Magic stay getting the superstar. They just ruin it. But they
every
always
time
get
we
one.
can look at what Brunson doing, he get mad. Think about that. Every time. That has to be the biggest blunder in the last 15, 20 years by any front office. Brunson walking out the door for nothing.
He went and said that he would have took the 4 years for 55.
Yep.
For nothing. He walked for nothing.
Oh, they're good. And that's when he walked in free agency. They could have had him on the cheap for 11 a year. Was it, what's 4 for 55? What's it, like 12 in a year, 12 and a half a year? So they had him for cheap and they wouldn't have given him the money. That's a massive mistake. And now you're bringing in, better talent in Kyrie Irving, but a lot more of a headache. I'm more likely a guy that's either going to leave or he'll re-sign and cause havoc next year.
And that's also what you get by letting the player gamble on himself. When you prove it.
Absolutely correct.
That's the gamble you take when you tell dudes to prove it.
He proved it. Luka got hurt and he dropped 40 in the playoffs. It's poetic justice.
And then he comes to New York and Wiz calls him bad girl.
Yeah,
man. I thought it was gonna be bad last night. I was gonna be chased down in LA after I called him bad girl.
The price of the brick went up, man. Yeah, basically, price of the brick went up.
But that and so let me say this too. For y'all mentioned something, and I was trying to stay out of the way and let you guys cook, but I want to say this, man. Y'all bugging if y'all think Jalen Brunson is not a superstar. We bugging
He's
out.
Definitely a star.
The thing about a superstar is most people don't recognize a superstar in the beginning, but they recognize it when the superstar takes over the atmosphere, right? Mm-hmm. But for those that have watched NBA basketball long enough, you see all the signs. You see all the signs, right? Like for instance, I'll give you an example. Kobe Bryant. When you saw Kobe on draft night, bro, it makes me sick to my stomach. Kobe Bryant, the Lakers are begging the entire league, 29 other teams, please let us get Kobe. The Knicks have 3 first-round picks, right? When first-round picks were valuable, now they're not valuable, right? But when first-round picks were gold, the Knicks had 3 of them, right? The Knicks could have traded up to 12, right, and drafted Kobe Bryant. They could have drafted up to 10 and got Kobe Bryant. And they were like, nah, we good. This draft is super deep. We're going to wait here for 19, 20, and 22. Or I'm sorry, 18, 19, and 21.
The only team that ain't take nothing good in the 96.
Wallace, we're going to take Dante Jones, and we're going to take Walter McCarty, right? No respect to John Wallace. John Wallace should have been a top 10 pick in that draft, right? Respect to John Wallace, right? But the Knicks waited when a star was being born in front of our eyes. Some people some people were looking at Allen Iverson. They were like, AI is the cream of the crop in this draft. At the time, I felt like he was, right? But when other teams are like, yeah, I know he's going to be the best player in the draft, but I just don't want to take a kid out of high school. It's too much stuff, too much. Our infrastructure ain't right. You need to get rid of the shot callers in the infrastructure and draft Kobe, right? The same thing. If we had to do it all over again, Ron, if we were in that same situation today, right, with the 3 first-round picks, do you think the Knicks would draft Kobe?
Yes, and all 3.
All 3 and some players. Right? But the thing about it is that's revisionist history. But on the come up, you have to recognize this stuff early, bro. Like the kid Devin Vassell in San Antonio is gonna be a star in this league. Nobody is mentioning this dude's name, but San Antonio is clearing the pathway for this dude to become a star. They traded DeJounte Murray. They traded Josh Richardson. They showing you their hand. They're like, yeah, we getting all these dudes out the way so Devin Vassell can come in here and be a mega star, right? Right. This is what San Antonio doing. But the Knicks are watching Jalen Brunson average 31 points a game for a month and a half against every opponent. And we're like, yeah, 31 points is good, but I need him to average 39 points a game. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? What are we doing? Ron, just come on. Ron, and this is my plea to Ron Cleveland, who knows basketball and is one of the greatest people that I know in terms of humanity, right? Ron, come on over here to the side with me on Brunson, bro. You don't need to see no more. He's here.
He's definitely a star. You know what the term? Think about it, Freezer. What vaults people into superstar?
Off the court stuff.
It ain't the regular season. It ain't the regular season.
What makes you a superstar?
It ain't the regular season, but I can't knock him. That's why I say he's definitely a star.
Ron, that's what you wrong at, bro.
I might be wrong.
The regular season doesn't make you.
I'm right because ain't nobody can tell me that he ain't a star.
The playoffs don't make you a mega star, bro. Because think about it. Because think about it.
You know that, Freezy.
Think about Devin Booker made the NBA Finals 2 seasons ago, right? Is he a superstar?
Oh, he definitely a superstar. That man took that team to the finals, and he done took him to Western Conference Finals.
We got to redefine what superstar is.
He's a superstar.
He's a superstar.
And you know, Freezy, like I know. Think about it. And they always talk about it, man. It ain't what you do in the regular season. And he's playing.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna agree with you with this.
Ron, you wrong, bro. I got too many examples.
The numbers he's putting up, Freezy.
Jokic is a 2-time MVP, and he's a superstar, and he has never been to the finals.
Freezy, the numbers, based on the numbers that he's putting up, is superstar numbers.
Jokic is a 2-time MVP.
You hear what I said, Freezy? You heard me?
Yeah, I heard you.
He's putting up superstar numbers. If what he's doing, I ain't looking for no 31 a game in the playoffs. I'm not even looking for that in the playoffs because I know things change in the playoffs. Teams play a whole lot harder in the playoffs. Everything amps up. If that man just give me even 25 a game in the playoffs, and the 7 assists that he's pretty much been averaging, and the Knicks is rolling, I don't even care if they don't.
Ron, is Paul George a superstar?
I'm gonna tell you like this: I ain't never considered him no superstar. Not me.
Hold on. Time out.
I say this.
What about Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo? Are they superstars?
You know when I considered him a superstar? Before he broke that leg.
What about Zion? Is Zion a superstar?
Yeah.
But
is Ja Morant a superstar?
Ja Morant is a superstar.
But he never been to the finals.
Can I
interject? He ain't never been to the finals. I'm talking about the impact, man. And
let me interject. Let me interject real quick. The thing that makes a superstar goes beyond the court itself is marketability. There's other things that go into it.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah.
And even if you include play on the court, there also has to be longevity. Like it's a sum. It's not a perfect math thing, but it's a sum of things. Like it has to be impact on the court, consistency, doing it for more than a month and a half, Freezy.
I agree.
You gotta establish yourself in the league before you get to superstardom. Like for instance, if Brunson was a superstar, before he even went on his run, he would have been in the All-Star game.
Okay.
Just off the respect.
And you know what else was
But Dre,
this is a superstar. You know what a superstar does? Don't make a difference what team they got with him. They're getting out of the first round. They're getting out of the first round.
Right,
Are they pretty much, if they get knocked out, they're going at least 6 or 7 games. And you know they was there. You felt the impact.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But some of those dudes that I mentioned have never even been in that position, and they're superstars. Like for instance, what would you give up for SGA? Everything, right?
I love that kid.
And SGA been to the playoffs one time when he was a 10-point per game scorer, where he was like the 5th option. Now he's a superstar for OKC.
On a team that ain't going nowhere.
And then the team ain't going nowhere fast. Right? You know what I'm saying? The superstar conversation, what it boils down to is we have biases and prejudices, right? If you don't fit a certain criteria for us, and it changes from person to person, right? And what I'm saying is I'm unbiased, right? And I don't have any prejudices. I'm not mad that Jalen Brunson started this when he was older, or that he doesn't fit the physical build, or that he can't jump out the gym. What I'm saying is Jalen Brunson is producing at a superstar level right now.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Another factor is other teams, other fans checking his stats are looking for what he's doing. And I think Jalen Brunson is doing stuff where people are going, I wonder what he did tonight. Just like Jokic.
Yeah.
Nikola, we're like, let me go check Nikola's stats tonight. I don't care what his team did. I'm like, I want to know what Nikola did tonight. I want to know what PG3 did tonight. He's doing this kind of stuff. People are gonna be like, what's Jalen doing?
Right.
And when Jalen shows up in town, who do I think about when I think about the Knicks? I think about the Knicks right now. My first name in my mind is, oh man, Brunson. How are we gonna stop that kid?
Right. Now, and listen,
I got this for you. So is it wrong for you to call him a star?
Yes.
Why?
It's disrespectful.
Why? How many stars in this league?
I don't know.
Maybe 20 to 30.
Yeah, if you just go, let's say 25 if we go by the All-Star metric.
Now, I may have to revamp my thought process because I'm thinking about Dallas, and now I'm not just thinking about Dallas. I'm going back to his college days too, because I'm gonna throw that in there. That's relevant.
All right.
2 championships, was the engine. He won the bus rider. He was the engine.
Okay.
Goes to Dallas, played with Luka out in the playoffs and was lighting. Who did they knock off? Who did they knock off?
The Jazz. The Jazz and the Suns.
Yeah, knock off 2 unexpected teams. Then you come to New York and you take over this team and you took us to somewhere we ain't been in 20 plus years, looking like the best signing ever. Freezy, when I add all that up, you know what that screams to me?
Superstar.
Yeah. Yeah. When I really think about it, when I add all that up, because that's a part of that man's resume. Think about it. When players done, they don't just say he was in the NBA. They talk about where they came from too before they got to the NBA.
Yeah.
They put it all in the package, and I can't dismiss it. The guy has won every place he went, man, and for that alone, I got a vault in there. And I was leaning, but I was like, no, I know he's a star.
Yeah,
he's definitely a star.
Because so many bad
his team. This is Jalen Brunson's team.
Okay, let me bring in the guys in. Hold on.
What's good?
Yo. Hey, Adam, I selfishly have a 2:30. Can I go first really quick? Because I have no business being up here. My etiquette is bad, but let me say hello to the network, obviously. Ron, Dre,
What's up, G.I.?
And I mean, Adam, so many. I was in the chat behaving myself, just getting my troll on. But I couldn't take it no more. It was just, Ron, I got pulled in. I got sucked in. I'm like, I got a 2:30. I got
Jalen Brunson, superstar.
Go ahead, Ghetto. Go ahead.
Here's what's most important. I first got to thank the network for giving this summer a platform to Knicks Freestyle, who I hope can rock. Well, no, we got a game tonight, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but the Knicks Freestyle, who would be on Wednesday, 7:30 with my homie Free Keep. I saw him up there this morning, so I had to come and be the other half of the second wheel, and the plus one. Ron, it's hard being a plus one, Ron, but that's all right. Your humility, through humility, I get through it, God. But so this summer we said, here's what's most important about Jalen Brunson that the fans aren't going to get used to, are going to have to get used to. A point guard who can keep his dribble no matter who's on him, no matter what pressure's put to him. He's going to keep dribbling the basketball. He's going to keep dribbling the basketball, and other things could potentially happen. And fans are like, what do you mean he's going to keep dribbling the basketball? Until they remember in the fourth quarter where what happens is Neil Akita will run across the half and pick the ball up
and give it to Luke Cornett. Like, Frank, you the point guard. Why are you giving the ball to Luke Cornett?
He would rush across the half court. Or Peyton would come up, and Peyton was at least able to keep his dribble, but he was only looking at one thing. Julius Randle, where are you? Get this ball out of my hand. You know, boys on me. And then Chauncey Bill. I mean, not Chauncey Billups. Our boy last year who played point guard. God bless him. Who came?
Burks.
Everybody. Say it again, Dre.
You said Burks. You said boy last year that played.
Burks. Thank you, Dre. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Burks, right? So then Burks' job was hurry up. Hold on. I gotta hurry up, get this ball to Randall too, because I see why the rest of them did it. It ain't no joke out here with this. These boys is long. And you just got a guy who can dribble the basketball under any pressure. I think that in this league alone makes you superstar. Here's what's most important, and I'm glad I only took a couple of minutes and I'm shutting up. He belongs to us. Here is what's happening right now. He's ours. Here is what's happening right now. If he was able to see this network, he was like, oh my God, even my own Knicks fans who I'm doing, they're doing what they did to me in high school. You're really good. You could be the player of the year, but I don't think you're the best ever. College. Oh, you've been player of the year. You won championship, but you know what? You're still average. And he's like, oh my goodness, it's my own team. I put on for them every night. They buy my tickets, and all I do is go out and dump 40, and they're asking me. And he's going to keep proving us wrong and proving us wrong. Just take us to a championship, Jalen. Take us to a championship. Just win us a championship, and I promise you, boy, I promise you they'll stop doubting you, Grayson.
Yeah, what did the real quick, G.I., the thing is, Knicks fans, and I love y'all, and I'm a part of y'all too. But as a fan base, we don't appreciate nothing. Right? We don't appreciate nothing, bro. No matter what we get, Knicks fans be like, I want more. No matter what. Julius Randle finished 8th in the MVP vote 2 years ago, right? You know what Knicks fans are saying? It was a fluke. Bro, how about y'all realize that Julius Randle was top 8 in the MVP? How about you just realize that? And to date, he's top 7 in the MVP voting. Right?
Is that by like what Vegas is saying, like the odds? Because I don't think they do the voting just yet. But you're going by like Vegas.
That's Vegas odds. They don't do the vote till after.
Well, the journalists get to take a poll and say if they had to vote now, here's how it would look.
Right.
Bro, and so but ultimately, even with that, like even with Dre injecting that into the conversation, it show you that even Dre don't appreciate it. And I love Dre. Dre, my man. Yo, there's nobody more knowledgeable in Knicks universe than Dre. I mean, he go by the call sign, I know basketball. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows more than Dre. You know what I'm saying? When you see his name on the screen, IKBM means I know basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Man, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. Jalen Brunson is definitely for the Knicks. That dude. This is his team. This is his team. It is his team. We've been waiting for this. We waited a long time for a point guard, man. And they ain't went and just got us just anybody this time. Because we done went through a lot of them.
But is Jalen Brunson a superstar?
Huh?
Is Jalen Brunson a superstar? No.
He has to be. For what he's doing. He has to be. But you know what the problem is, Freezy? Is last year he wasn't a superstar. He wasn't even a star last year.
Right.
And normally, there's levels to this. You don't just jump from being not even a star to straight to a superstar.
But
when I look at the numbers and what the numbers say, 15, 30-point games.
But Ron,
3
listen,
40-point
this
games.
is what I want to say to you. I want to say this to you. Because I feel like you know what you're talking about, right? But here's the thing. How can we say in the same conversation, the Knicks jersey is the heaviest jersey in the NBA?
Thank you.
Right? Mm-hmm. How can we say that? How can we say it's hard playing in the Garden? It's hard pleasing Knicks fans, right? So we say that, but then when my man put up superstar numbers, the same as everybody else, understanding where the organization come from, understanding how hard it is to play for the Knicks, and understanding how hard it is to put up superstar numbers, how do we compare Jalen Brunson to everybody else, knowing all these takeaways?
He got it harder.
He's got it harder than everybody else.
He's making it look so easy. He's making it look so easy, and that's what we're taking for granted because we see so many people struggle.
But Knicks fans will be like, "No, you need to do more. You need to average 52 a game."
This the thing. We all know that when you get those accolades like that, man, and shout out to my man, it is about your body of work.
Okay.
Because I guarantee you, if you was to poll the aficionados, them guys who do this thing for a living, and you ask them right now if he's a superstar, what you think they'll say?
No, they'll say he's up and coming. He's budding.
Exactly.
But Ron, let me say this. Let me say this though.
He got to put in the work. That's all it is. He got to put in the work. He's on the right path.
What we pay for his production now.
I ain't say the man trash, Freezy. I mean, you acting like I said, man.
I know. I didn't say that.
Ron, no, but you acting like that. You ain't got to say it, but you acting like that.
No. I'm acting like the gap between a star and a superstar is huge. That's what I'm acting like.
No, it's not huge. It's not huge.
Yes. Okay.
A star, man.
So the gap between Chris Middleton and Giannis is not huge.
Being a star than being a star to superstar.
The gap between Steph Curry and Klay Thompson is not huge.
Say that again, G.I., because that was huge what you just said.
The level of winning is the difference between them.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a huge gap from being a no-name person to being a star.
This time last year, Alec Burks was the starting point guard for the Knicks.
And he was trash. And I told you he wasn't going to do it.
And today, Jalen Brunson is the starting point guard of the Knicks, and the Knicks might have 2 All-Stars. And they're 5 games above 500. So a 10-game gap is not huge? I just wanted some clarity on it.
Freezy.
So this time last year, we were 5 games under 500
Freezy, what I'm
with
saying
Alec
is,
Burks starting that point.
When I say body of work, I'm talking longevity. I'm talking time, man. I'm talking time. We ain't even finished the season yet. What happens, and this is hypothetical. What happens if this man start going through a slump? You gonna still be yelling, "He a superstar"?
Yes.
Because truth be told, superstars always show up. Always show up. That's what a superstar ain't no days off. They don't pull with RJ pull. Superstars show up when everybody else don't show up. That guy you talk about, AI? Yeah. AI was a single reason why Philly went to the championship. Why? Because he showed up every night. Right. And that's all I'm saying. It's too early, Freezy. It's too early.
But
the signs are there.
But in
But the
comparison,
signs are there.
to that, AI was the number one pick. He went to one finals and lost to the dude that went 13 and won 5
But
NBA
the
titles.
signs are there, Freezy. I ain't discounting that the signs are there. That's why I say this man is definitely a star. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a remedy for the All-Star game.
Randall's a star.
I'm gonna tell you, and Brunson is better than him.
Right. So what does that make him?
And they're close, but Brunson is better than him.
So Randall is a 2-time All-Star, right? Jalen Brunson is better than Randall. So what does that make? What does that make Jalen Brunson?
Nah, Freezy, don't go there. You
I
hear what you trying to do, but nah, you ain't gonna trap me off with that.
I can't get you with that. I can't get you with
trap me off with that.
I can't get you with the Sesame Street count. I was doing the Sesame Street counting just now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hey, Ron, what you just did?
Hey, I got love for you, boy. You a dick nigga. You know what I mean? Hey, you keep them coming.
Hey, Ron, what you just did wasn't fair. I tried to get in a little bit, but you was intent on locking horns with Freezy. I tried to get in there, boy. You just can't, man.
You know how me and Freezy go, man.
He'll give up now. He ain't gonna give up now. You ain't gonna never get that man to lay down now. He ain't gonna never give up. He ain't gonna never quit.
Tell me, Freezy. You know, she used to tell me, I laugh about it. Me and my dad just laughed at that thing just last night, man. Right. Mom used to be like, boy, you always got to have the last word. And you know when she said that to me, I was like, no, Mama, I just want you to know how I feel. She said, see what I'm talking about?
Right there.
But I can tell you what, it's the Knicks fans. It's the Knicks fans.
But I love him, man. I love that guy, man. I ain't gonna front.
It's the Knicks fans who downgraded the impact and didn't promote. Like Halliburton was able to present to the league that he had a bigger impact on the Pacers than Brunson had on the Knicks. And it just wasn't true. Brunson is a bigger player than Halliburton in this league right now. But Halliburton is doing his thing. Clearly on stats is Halliburton looking big on Brunson. It's the tangibles that Brunson brings to this team. And I think it's now guys are going to want to play with him that really's got me excited about him being here.
Right. Yeah, I think that move and the moves where we got Hart, I said it yesterday, we're going to get to a point, fellas, where we're going to have to turn people away.
Right.
Like people going to start wanting to come here.
Right. What I'm asking though is this: would you consider DeJounte Murray and Trae Young superstars?
No.
Right.
No.
Right. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm getting at. Brunson is playing, but because we can't go on what Brunson did in Dallas, because the Dallas conversation is not for us. That's for Dallas fans. Can we go by what Jalen Brunson has done as a Knick?
Freezy,
so you want me? I see what you're doing. So you want me to just go just off the body of work right now? Just forget. Yes. Just go right off the body of work.
Yes.
Read it on the body of work, and what I said earlier, but what the numbers he done put up, they are superstar numbers. They are.
Freezy, I got a question.
The guy averaged 30 points for what, 20-something games, 18 games, something like that.
Yeah, 20. Like Freezy.
That's
when James Harden
status.
Right,
based
like
on
Freezy.
Based on that premise,
Freezy, we basically compared Brunson to James Harden, how he came here. When James Harden was on OKC and OKC was down 0-2 to the Spurs, right? In the Western Conference Finals, and he took over that series. Basically, they won and went to the finals because of him. Then they came back. He came back and went to the Houston Rockets the next year or so, right? And he immediately dropped 40, and he was playing at a high level.
And you know what
coming out
was saying?
They were saying, well, they didn't. They were hoping he was going to be a superstar.
Nah, bro.
He was going to be a star.
Houston fans, I know people that. I'm not saying that.
But I'm saying the general consensus.
But what I'm saying is the people that I know that I was in the military with that way in Houston, Jackson, like some dudes I know, they were like, when they watched James Harden, they saw a star. You didn't have to read the instructions to understand that you have a coffee table, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you buy a coffee table, you ain't got to read the instructions. You know you bought a coffee table.
But
when you got Harden, you saw Harden was that, bro.
Right. And I'm saying Harden didn't hit superstar level until that season was through. And then the next year he got his Adidas deal, his $200 million contract from Adidas, which signifies that you've arrived once you get a sneaker deal. that's one of the indicators of what is a superstar. It
Can I
took
read
Hart
this?
in a few years on the Rockets to get that
Can I
studio.
read this one,
Here's a quick
Freezy?
question again.
Oh,
Real
okay.
quick
Hold
one.
on. Wait a minute. Hold on, Wes. Let me do this real quick. All right, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says management not taking JB for granted. Got his heart.
That was a good one. That was
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
the best ones of y'all.
that's
Good
that's
one,
very
Paris.
clever.
Now, if you keep
Nice,
saying
nice,
something like
nice.
that,
Shout out to
boy,
Paris.
you got your money's worth out of that.
Shout out to
Hey.
Paris making dollars.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Nick G said, "What we crying about today?" Nick
Yo,
G,
salute
yeah,
to Nick G. I
What's
hope
up,
the
Nick
little
G? It's
ones
been a
is
minute,
good,
boy.
King. I hope you having good ackee and sawfish in the morning, my guy. Salute to
Oh
you.
yeah. Yo, real quick, little devil's advocate. When Carmelo was here, he had nobody around him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo, right? Nobody around him. But when Carmelo was injured, there's a cat who took the Knicks over a 10-game period who played like a star over 10 games and showed the potential to be that star. Then next year disappeared. Lynn Sanity. I'm saying right now, I don't
How
want
many
to jump
games?
the gun.
How many games was it? Wiz? It was like 13
I'm
games,
just
right?
saying, yes, but that the spark, it showed there's a potential for superstar. I mean, for stardom, not superstar, stardom.
How many games is it for Brunson though?
50.
But
40 something, whatever he missed, injured something, right?
And
I'm just saying that.
didn't Jalen Brunson did what the year before last year? He did what in the playoffs? The year
I'm not
before you
saying
saw Jeremy Lin, you didn't see Jeremy Lin do
I'm not
nothing in the
disagreeing
playoffs.
with you. I'm just throwing out there that people jumped the gun a little bit too soon about putting a title on a guy. And I'm going to say right now, Brunson has all the indications of a future superstar. And I can't call him a superstar right now. Those 13 games, I saw the
But
indication.
that's like saying Wiz ain't gonna be a good guy until he turns 60. I need to wait till Wiz turns 60 before I really say he's a good man. No,
that's
bro.
like saying RJ
No.
ain't gonna be a good player till he turned 26.
You're right. Yeah. What I'm saying is I know Wiz is a good guy right now because of what I see. He don't have to blow you away every day with stuff. Wiz, I'm gonna give you some unsolicited advice, bro. I'm gonna give Wiz some unsolicited advice. Wiz, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money. You see, oh, you got it. I'm the new fool. But Wiz, let me give you Wiz. Wiz. I'm gonna just say this, Wiz. Yo, as a scorn Knicks fan, you should stop what you're doing, and for once in your Knicks fandom, enjoy things in Knicks universe from day to day. Stop looking at what we should be or could be or would be and look at what we are.
And we are.
Can we do that just for a little while?
I tell you one thing, Freezy, I want to touch on.
Yes.
A couple of things, man. One thing, Serge Ibaka, we need to go get him out of that buyout pool. We need to go get him. He'll fit perfect on this team. You know what I mean? Somebody was real rough and rugged. You know
Terrence
what I mean?
Ross.
We need to get him. And I got a solution. I got a solution for the All-Star.
Terrence Ross is going to the Suns, by the way. My bad.
I got a solution for the All-Star situation with people getting snubbed. You know how they could actually fix this? You can have people named All-Stars. All these people that got snubbed, you can name them All-Stars, but then you can have the coaches pick the players that's going to play in the All-Star game. Because it's not fair. It's not fair at all when you look at what Jalen Brunson is doing. And all these other guys that got snubbed, when you see the impact to their team and what they do.
Harden.
Darius Garland.
Think about that, Freezy. Think about that, man. They could actually have these guys called All-Stars and let the coaches decide out of that pool of players that's listed as All-Stars who y'all want to play in the game. That way everybody is still considered an All-Star.
I think they should just make it 15 in each conference instead of 12. Like, there's way too much talent in the NBA.
You can do that too.
But
you don't want to change the amount of players. You don't want to change the amount of players. Hey, name these players All-Stars and had the coaches pick who plays in the game.
Guys, as a coach, it would have been no brainer to me. It would have came down to Trae Young, who just had Devontae Murray put next to him. And what was the other name we just said?
Darius Garland.
And Darius Garland, who just had Donovan Mitchell put
Spider.
next to him. So
hey,
these
but listen,
players,
but Brunson just had Grimes put next to him.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, but is Randall not an all-star though? Because are we going to say Randall's not an all-star?
See, that's the difference. I'm glad you said that because last year Randall was looking like garbage. Brunson came in and helped him get his game back. He came in and upgraded our team, and now we're playing better at this right now. At this point in time, we're better than those two teams. So why wouldn't our guy be? If it's about winning, why didn't our guy get? So that's
let me break it down in the most like politically sound way because the NBA is politics.
Politics,
absolutely.
I'm gonna break it down this way. The Cavs have a better record than us. So if it were to go with the two guys route, they would probably opt for Garland because they have a better record. By the way, even if he's not playing better, he has comparable stats to Brunson. They're not well off. Their stats are very similar. Brunson averages 2 more points. Garland averages 2 more assists. They have basically the same splits. So they would go that route. Or the only other team that's in the play-in race that doesn't have an all-star, no matter how we feel about Trae Young, he's still averaging 27 and 10. And they're the only play-in team that does not have an all-star. And if we're splitting hairs, James Harden, if we're playing a politics game and James Harden and his past resume and everything that goes into it, James Harden's averaging 20 and 10, and they're the third best team in the East.
Right. Hey, Nick G, thank you for the generous contribution. Nick G says, bro, Brunson was great in high school, college, and playoffs. Yeah, what I'm saying is you can't compare Jalen Brunson to Jeremy Lin. Come on, that's disrespectful, bro.
Yo, Dre, I respect that retort, bro. Great.
Jeremy Lin had that one shining moment.
Yeah. Yeah. and keeping it and if we keep it in the buck, bro, the Knicks during that era had a bunch of dudes that had that one shining moment. You know what I'm saying? Because if you remember, y'all remember a dude named Chris Copeland?
Yeah.
28-year-old rookie.
Chris Copeland was going to be somebody.
28-year-old rookie.
3-point specialist, and then went out there to Indiana.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all remember a dude named Courtney Lee? Remember Courtney Lee? Remember Aaron DeFlalo?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? People forget about. Yo, I gotta run. I gotta go eat lunch. Y'all, listen. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna get out of here.
Good conversation, man.
To everyone on the panel.
Jalen Brunson, superstar.
Hey, Freezy, matter of fact, put that poll up, man. Is Jalen Brunson a superstar?
Yeah, put it in the channel.
I'm gonna
put it in the community tab.
Yeah, I'll put it on there so we can vote for it.
And then we can talk about that one later.
I'll see you later, Freeze.